Well, 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 well.
And here we are, gents.
Here we are.
What's up?
Hey,
What's going on, gentlemen? Thank you guys for joining the NR and myself for our Wednesday night, whatever we want to talk about night, But
Crypto fairies.
crypto
the fairies.
tonight, guys, we're going to talk about
Fairies.
crypto fairies and aliens. I think they're one and the same to some degree, because neither one of them exist, and we're going to talk about that later on the night. But what's up, gentlemen? How's your week been? It's been a while since I've been online. I've had some things going on off chain. Those on stage know what's going on. So I do appreciate all the kind words and prayers and stuff. Stuff going on with the family and stuff. So, but I'm glad to be back. I had to jump back in the saddle. I've had that itch. Like I got to get back on the live, and I've been watching all the lives all week because I know Prado's been on. Um, um, Prado, and then Prado was on.
Of course, Prado's
Yeah.
on. It's,
I think
dude's
Prado
on
was
like
on.
4 times a day.
Yeah, I actually think the other day I caught a Prado live. He was
Yeah,
on.
Yeah. No, but I've been trying to catch everyone's lives. Mellofellow was on. That's my favorite live for the week. It's just, you got him, Chris Cruz, you got Terry on there. You guys,
That's the Corks and Crypto, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
fun
you
time.
guys are just chill, man. It's a real cool, it's a real fun time, man. So I get to kick back. I'm drinking something when you guys are on there because I know,
Did you see me on there talking about Four Roses? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I
Roses.
saw that. I have not tried that. But
It's good stuff.
I just remember you said I know it's good because everything got blurry. So that's gonna be my listening test. I'm gonna use that as a metric. If it's not
Yeah.
getting blurry, it's take that shit back to the kitchen, right?
It was like, you have a little bit of bourbon, you're like, yeah, cigar, bourbon, everything. It's feeling good and everything. When shit starts to get blurry, you're like, man, that was some good shit.
Yeah, it's like, can I get some more? Can I get a bottle of this stuff? Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly, man. But so it's a bourbon, right? Is that what it is? You just
Yeah.
said your daughter bought it for you, so
Yeah, she bought it. She
I'm about to
was
try it.
mixing drinks and stuff, and I was like, man, we don't mix drinks, bourbon in this house, so
Or be straight.
Drink it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like yours neat? Do you like it on the rocks? How do you like yours, Chris?
if you do the rocks the right way. I mean,
Gotcha.
if I'm somewhere, I'm like, yeah, give it to me on the rocks, and they put like ice from the machine on it. I'm like, no, just neat. I'll take it neat.
You need
I
that,
like mine neat. Yeah.
you need that
Smoked ice.
cube ice or the
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it makes a difference because I'm telling you that when you get a nice, it's a good quality cube of ice in there, and you have a few drinks, and you just pour over that. By the time it gets down to anything reasonable, that ice is smooth. It's like you got a whole nother drink.
So the thing about that is because I have the cube of ice. I get the cube ice trays are pretty. I got a couple of variants of sizes, but it's never like when I go to a restaurant. Like it melts really fast. I've got one in right now. Is there? It was what are they using water from Alaska or what the hell? I don't understand why
I'm telling you, man, there is a difference in the ice, and it makes a difference in the drink. And
maybe I gotta
I've tried to duplicate it, but I can't.
You got to get one of those, LG Vulcan refrigerators.
I'm telling you,
yeah. Well, I don't Prado. Hey, don't forget, bro.
Right,
You owe me one, man. Hell yeah, dude.
There you go.
But yeah, so I'll end up. You're right, Chris. You get that block of ice from whatever. You go to a restaurant or a bar or something.
It's
usually
really
a ball. It's usually a nice
usually a
solid
ball.
ball.
Yep.
Yeah, I have this
And you
fear, but
can
they
see
melt
it.
so fast.
Because you can see it because when they put it in there, it's got a little bit of frost on the outside, and then when they pour it on there, it's like a clear crystal ball.
Yeah,
And you can
get
see
those.
it plain as day, and it
Yeah.
looks so good. And then you get a few drinks on it, and then every once in a while you gotta be careful because if you got a server and they're young, they'll be like, just refill this. You don't throw this out,
Right.
And sometimes they don't know. They're like, I'll get you a new drink, and you're like, well,
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't do that here.
ice is aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get those ice makers. They're not cheap either. But you can get those for your house, Kryptonian.
Makes the big blocks.
It's like artisan whiskey specifically for
man.
whiskey balls. Yeah, you
So
can get those
good.
for your house. I think you can get them on Touch of Modern, honestly. I always see them on there.
I haven't bought anything there in a while.
Yeah, I think I've seen them on Touch of Modern.
I have the trays, right? I'm pouring bottles of water in the trays. I get the big cubes and I have the spheres, but it just like as you suggested, it doesn't last. It melts quickly. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making it wrong, but I'll have to look for that, especially if when I move into the new house. it's going to be on the top of my
Now
list.
I've seen tons of different ways. I've seen how people bartenders that do it right, like they'll heat the glass and everything like that. They'll put the ice ball in there, and I'm telling you, it makes it the flavor just bursts in your mouth, man. It's different. Now me at home, and most places I go, I just do neat. You just give it to me. But some good places. We
But
got
Rocks
some
is good if done
a
the
good
right way.
steakhouse, man. A good steakhouse, man. They got a nice. The ice in it is like you're there for the drink, and you just happen to have a steak.
Right.
I'm here for the drink, and it comes with a steak type of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And the steaks are good. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been to like 5-star steak restaurants, and I'm like, your drinks are better, guys. Sorry.
It's like, would you like
house for takeout?
a smoked walnut, bourbon with it comes with a tomahawk, 12 ounce.
Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you guys got me going.
That's the appetizer, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh
Very
man,
good.
I love me some tomahawk, man.
There you go. I just sent Greek texted me. He said, "Send me the link. I might jump on." So
Oh hell yeah.
we might have a special guest tonight.
Hell yeah. Yeah, what's up, Greek? If you're out there, man, I haven't talked
Yeah,
to you in
man.
a while,
I wonder
buddy.
if Greek
Oh, good.
drinks any alcohol or anything. I've never had that conversation.
He said he's not a huge drinker, but he'll partake. I know he
Right.
got a little tour up on the yacht
Five.
party in
Yeah.
Dubai.
Floor
You
up
know.
from the floor up.
Wearing
But
his
I know
shorts.
he eats steaks though, because maybe last
Mhm.
week or before last, he was posting pictures.
He's always making some
Yeah.
good food, man.
Yeah, man.
He's always
He
sharing
makes
his
it- he
meals
does
and
make
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, what's up, everybody, for joining us, guys? It's been a while. Anybody that joined, what's up, Jaco? Fairies and aliens. This is actually going to be very interesting. I never get a chance.
Hold on a second. Before you get into anything, when Terry and I had our live,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we ended kind of quick because I was running my mouth quite a bit. So
Hey, what are you drinking yet?
yeah, don't ask. But at the same time, Jocko put a comment in the when we were
On your
Like right before you signed off and you didn't get to address it, something like that.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and find it, man.
Greek.
Right on.
I have no idea.
Greek
how-
drinks.
Greek
Drinks,
ladies.
drink ladies. Or Trulies.
Trulies.
All right.
Seltzer water. I can't stand those things, man.
Yes,
Like
nasty.
true
Seltzer
those seltzer.
water?
Oh, I hate those things, man. That's like
Let me try to present this. I screwed this whole damn thing up.
About the gator.
I'll find
What's
it.
it
The
about?
gator. The gator.
Yeah.
We talked about gators, and then he had a 13-foot gator. There it is.
This brother,
there you go.
Chris brought out freaking word paint and shit.
There you go. It's like,
I just had to grab it real quick before
Or
we
Microsoft
left.
Paint.
It would go
I
away.
said word paint. He brought Microsoft Paint. Hey, man, that's I'm
Oh,
surprised. I'm surprised you didn't have to call tech support.
Damn.
Well, if I'd have needed to, I'd have called you. So
yeah.
for my
Okay.
wife, right?
3-year-old lab. At first, I saw 3-year-old, and I was like,
Yeah, I
"What?"
did
And then
too.
I saw lab. I was like, "Oh, okay,
yeah, so 11-foot gator grabbed a 3-year-old lab and killed it.
wow,
Oh snap!
that's
Yeah.
crazy, man."
Where are you at? Where does he live at? In Florida?
Florida.
I would assume Florida. Yeah.
He's in real estate.
We have
too.
we have some here in Texas,
Yeah.
especially kind of on the east side of Houston. There's a couple of because it's going towards east, towards Louisiana, which is just a giant freaking gator fest over there, man. I mean, it's swampland over there. But I remember this when I played baseball. We had this park we went to, and right to the right of the park there was this reservoir. There was gators all up in a couple of. There was one time this guy lost his arm, lost his hand, trying to feed the gators.
Oh, wow.
There's always that guy, isn't
Yeah.
there?
We're sitting there playing. I think I was at bat. We just hear someone screaming.
Yeah,
I mean, it echoed. Birds flying out the trees, and like
yeah.
paramedics show up. It's crazy. I'm like, okay, I don't get in the water, man.
That's like that billionaire who wanted to see Titanic. Why would you spend that kind of money and go down in a
I think they were doing
this
research. I believe they were doing research.
Man, I don't know,
believe, as
man.
well.
Somebody
But
collected that
that's-
insurance. Somebody collected that insurance.
My
Somebody
wife
did that right now.
said,
There's a
"Who
couple
won-
of billionaires in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
Billion.
There's a handful of.
billionaire.
The saddest part was the son of the billionaire that didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And he
Oh.
went for his dad because
Oh,
like a
man.
Father's Day present, and now that the kids, kids
Well,
out
I
there,
heard, and I
shit.
think I didn't see this, but Mr. Beast, the YouTube guy,
yeah,
he was invited on it and he declined.
Wow. It just didn't look comfortable, and you're like 2 miles under the ocean.
Did you see those videos of the compressed air
Yes,
tanks
yes,
that were
yes.
just like they were like the vacuum or whatever of the compressed air, and the railroad car tankers, you know, the round ones and everything, they're just sitting there and they just collapse.
Yes.
And it's like, this is what happens when the vacuum of compressed or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to go to the moon. I'm not going to the Mars. I'm not going to the bottom of the ocean.
well, I don't think you can go to the moon. I mean,
You can't.
we'll have to
Maybe.
consult Kryptonian on that, but you know.
First of all, you can't go to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, you can't, and then because you know what happened. Let's talk about that. Let's just talk about that. Just how
Well,
the
that's why-
That's where
decompression.
the aliens live, right?
The decompression.
That's
we-
Atlantis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The decompression of that submarine, right? And it's imploded. It didn't exploded. It imploded.
Get Milky up here talking
Now,
about subs.
If you look, yeah, no, he likes torpedoes.
Yeah.
But if you look at what they went to go look at the Titanic on, that actual submarine that was supposedly built for the decompression and all that stuff, for the pressure and just the weight of the ocean on top of it. And then we'll go back to, I could show you that picture of again of that lunar module that landed on the moon.
Right.
And you tell me, would you think that shit went to space?
Right.
I'm sorry it didn't. But
Well, supposedly I read, and I don't know how true it is, but I did read some articles. My wife was all enthralled in this when they were looking for the guys. My wife was like, are they going to find them? And she was kind of following it.
Yeah.
And apparently I read some articles where the CEO of the company who made the sub liked to shortcut and save money here and there.
Yeah, he was
and this and
boasting
that. And
about
yeah, yeah.
I heard he 3D printed it. I'm just
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, dude. The things that he was
Yeah.
talking about. I saw a joke,
Yes,
like
you're
somewhere,
right.
and they were like, it uses like a game console
oh,
controller.
yeah, it uses a Xbox or a PS5
Xbox,
controller.
yeah.
And
And
I'm
I'm
like,
sitting there going,
Out.
these guys, they're crazy. And I see the video where he
Yep.
says, and he shows it. And I'm like,
Yep.
I mean,
Really?
I think if they would have used Wii controllers, then it'd be like, that's where I draw the
Hey,
line.
there you go. We
They,
can
just
go.
they have a switch, and they're like, little click, click. Then I'd be like, nah, man, I don't think so, buddy. That's where I draw the
Yeah,
line.
but I mean, we've all been playing a game and had a controller either go bad or
Glitch. Yeah.
yeah, man, glitch, all of that stuff.
yeah,
Like,
but doesn't it bother you, though? I mean, one thing I started thinking about is I wasn't up in the hype. I was just work, and everything was so busy last week and everything like that. But I did think about this. Doesn't it bother you that we spent so much time in the media and everything like that on this damn sub and all the other stuff about Hunter Biden and all that kind of stuff?
This
All these things are
not,
being
not only
released.
that, you
Yeah,
had
that's
a
why I
you
love
had
Chris,
a
man,
you
'cause
had
it's
another
exactly
boat.
what I was thinking.
Me too.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you had another ship with like 500 people that went missing. It was
Yeah.
like 500 people went missing. You heard like hardly anything about it.
It's
Yep.
just like Michael Jackson died, right? On the 25th. So did Farrah Fawcett. Nobody knows that. So
Who?
Farrah Fawcett died?
no, Farrah Fawcett died the same day Michael Jackson did.
Oh.
Yeah,
but
but
you
he was
only heard about Mike.
Yeah, but Michael
Terry,
Jackson's prettier.
listen.
That's why.
Terry, listen. You got to get with the
And more feminine.
new times,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'm just saying,
He
like,
was very pretty. That's why he
they,
did come.
they knew within the first 2 hours that sub imploded. They spent 5 days looking for it. They knew those guys were dead.
Well, because you got to understand. I'm going to fall back. I'm going to kind of fall back on what Chris was saying. Is like
And I'm going to agree with you 100%.
left hand is goes okay. They're like right hand goes shit.
Yep.
Hunter Biden we got to do something. He's got to do a plea bargain. He evaded taxes. He didn't evade taxes. He's fraud.
And did you
Um,
see that plea bargain? How weak it was?
Jesus. So
Yeah,
let's
tell
do
me,
this.
Vince.
Let's distract the world
Yeah.
with a submarine, and my heart goes out to those that lost their lives, right? But there is a risk, right? Obviously, they knew the risk. I mean, I'm not being cruel. I'm just being honest. You start going underwater, or
That far.
that far. I mean,
Towards the moon.
scuba diving. It's just.
I believe it was
dangerous,
like 2 hours to even just get to where the
Descent.
Titanic.
dude.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour descent. Like that's crazy.
But the media covered that.
yeah,
It's all they covered for a week or so, while our politicians are getting away with what everybody watching that's in the U.S. that's watching the show right now could never get away with.
Oh, if that was Trump or
Shit.
one of us,
I'd be in prison right now.
first of
man.
all, we wouldn't have got a plea deal. But if it
Oh,
was
no, no.
Trump,
Well,
could have been all over the news.
you can't even say Trump. So
Yep.
he was convicted. He pled guilty to a federal gun charge.
Yep.
felony.
Can you name other people that actually spent time in prison that are famous that had to do this?
Mhm.
Kodiak Black. There's several.
Wesley Snipes.
Kodak Black.
Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes. Yeah.
Well, Wesley
So-
Snipes with the tax evasion.
Well,
Oh,
didn't,
Yeah, but at the same time,
point
that's
is-
one of
yeah.
that's one of the charges.
Yeah,
And
exactly. In fact,
these
they
are
didn't even
famous people that
they
had
didn't-
to do time.
They didn't
Yeah.
even bring all the charges. This is what the Department of Justice is doing. They're stalling, and they're waiting for these charges to run out of the what is it called? The
Out of the public eye for
no,
people
no,
to
no,
forget.
the statutory. What is it called?
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations. They're waiting for it to expire. Then they're like, well, I mean, we didn't have time right now. So, but they brought.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a
Fowler.
BS thing there too, because of the fact that the whole thing that Trump's going through in New York, they changed the law so that the statute of limitations wouldn't expire.
well,
It
didn't
was like,
Trump got
Well, hold on 1 second, Fowler. Trump ain't black. And they about to throw
No,
him in jail.
and
I'm just gonna
Trump-
say right now.
and Trump freed.
But
yeah,
see-
but that's the part that makes me mad. It's like, okay, first off, there's a tier of justice to famous people, right?
Right.
Then there's a tier of justice for
Hillary
race
Clinton.
for race, yeah.
Sure.
Hillary Clinton. Certain people, and then there's a tier of justice for political people,
Mhm.
because it doesn't matter what political affiliation.
Well, when you
are.
play golf with the judges and you employ them, I
Mhm.
mean, it's kind of hard for them to
Yep.
want to put you behind bars, unfortunately.
Well, didn't Trump help set free Kodiak Black? Right? Because we did.
yeah, I think he did, but at the same
Fowler
time,
says we're talking apples and oranges. I guess he's talking about
Yeah.
Kodiak and Wesley, right?
Wesley, yeah, he's yeah.
What-
I get
what
you're
did
saying.
Kodiak do?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, Kodiak was in jail, and so was dang, what's that guy's name?
I mean, you've had a lot of famous, or at least especially rap stars,
for
in
gun
jail
charges,
for firearms. I mean, Lil Wayne was in jail
Lil
for
Wayne.
gun charges.
And
Yeah.
he thanks Trump for getting him out of prison.
Mhm.
Brother,
Yeah.
Trump. I'm doing what Trump does. I'm
Yeah,
using
but
the same tax
Trump's
laws.
using the tax laws.
Yes, I'm using
Just
this.
like he did in that.
I'm
just
doing what
like,
Hillary. I'm doing what Hillary Clinton's doing. I'm
Yeah.
doing what Bill Clinton did. I'm doing what
Dude,
Obama's doing. So I
that-
mean, I'm using the same tax laws you're doing. So
Yeah,
I guess I'm a
me
deplorable.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's on the books. Use it.
Hey, Fowler. Whenever Gods of Gaming blows up, because it will. And I'll definitely I'll be waiting for that. I'm excited about that project.
That
You're going to be you're going to be buying some books on how to not
Ooh,
pay
There you
stupid
go.
tax,
Yeah.
brother.
There you go.
Trust me. You're gonna
that clip of Dave
Donald Trump?
Chappelle talking about Donald Trump being a star when he was on that stage
Mhm.
with Hillary Clinton. That clip of Dave Chappelle is infamous. Love that clip. And Dave Chappelle's right on point. Right on point.
And Dave Chappelle, he's not.
She hit him
he's
in the
not-
taxes.
yeah, and I agree with Fowler what he's saying and everything like that. But that goes to my point. Is it's like you got celebrities, you got race groups, you got different backgrounds of all kinds of people have all been have broke the law and had to pay
It
for it.
should be the same.
Yeah.
The politicians on, I don't care which side it is. Right now, it's the Democrat side. Looks like it's getting away with crimes and stuff. It'll be Republicans later. They're all politicians.
They're all
It's all
they're
of
all
them.
the same. Yeah,
So,
there is no
If you're a
two-party guys.
politician, you get away with it. That's
Yep.
my point. And it doesn't matter what you do if you're connected to any kind of politician. And that is when it's like the average everyday person, they start waking up when they see crap like that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
especially when you got rappers out there that are doing probably less than what Hunter Biden was doing.
Right.
I mean, this guy was literally high on drugs, literally videoing him doing it.
Mhm.
You and lied on an application for a gun on a federal application for a gun license to get the gun, and then left the gun, then
Yeah.
lost it. It's like, okay, dude, and then the
At least that's the
public
story.
officials went to recover the
He
gun,
lost it. Yeah.
and he's not charged.
Yeah, Fowler, man, you want that GTR, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I had a client, man, that I didn't realize this, but he was freaking like tens of $20 million in the bank, and he lived like he had $20. Okay, he was a multi-millionaire next door, and I remember he used to drive a Ford Explorer. His wife was, I think, a doctor, but they lived very modest here in the Woodlands. You know, they had a big house. Don't get me wrong, but I remember one time I saw him on like on the, let's say, another side of Houston where the money is, and he was in a GTR, a black GTR. That damn thing like the Batmobile, and I saw him get out, and I was like, "What the hell is that? That's yours?" And so I'm gonna say this: the GTR is sick, man. That thing is fast.
I've driven quite a few. I had a friend that has one.
Yeah,
Actually,
so
I have a friend that has one.
I get the infatuation with that, man. So I hear you, Fowler. It was nice, man. But he says that he goes, I don't drive this on the east side of Houston because I'll get jacked, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of crap. And if it's not more plain as day, that's where I think that Daniel and I will always disagree on the fact
Agreed.
that you have so many stories that are not covered by the media when it's plain as day.
It's intentionally not covered.
If Chelsea Clinton, when the Clintons were the president and stuff like that, if Chelsea Clinton, she was too young, but if she was older, a child, had pled guilty to a federal gun charge, it would be 24-hour news everywhere. If one of Obama's daughters did the same thing, it would be news 24/7. That, and Trump's family, the Bush family, you look at all these families, and this is like so blatant that they're like, this he is pleading guilty to a federal gun charge where his dad is trying to do gun control, and it's like,
Isn't it a minimum of like 5 years or something like that?
yeah, and the average everyday person can't stand. I mean, now, and if you have a piece of equipment, I won't say it because I don't want to get Kryptonian, get us all banned or whatever.
Yeah,
if you have a piece of equipment that was previously allowed by a certain agency, and then arbitrarily, without a law being put in place, deemed illegal, those people will get more of a sentence than the actual sitting president's son's guilty plea for a federal gun charge.
Right.
You understand the ramifications of that? I mean, that, to me, and that happening is a bad thing. And it doesn't mean that Biden's a bad president. It doesn't mean that it means it is what happened. It is what happened. And it's the responsibility of the media and the basically the establishment to put out and cover it
and hold him accountable.
But we're all sitting here talking about a sub, about a guy that makes. He openly says that he's going to make a substandard sub,
right? And
he goes down and they all die, and we're all like, okay. I mean, are we watching an episode of Beavis and Butthead? I mean, seriously, what the hell?
For everybody that's not 60 years old, Beavis and Butthead was a show that came out on MTV years ago.
When Google Chris was in his 60s.
All right, Chris, I got to translate sometimes.
I was thinking, what are you telling people? What is it? It took me a minute to get
right on.
It took me a minute to catch on to what you were saying. I'm like,
what's up, Odie?
What's up, Odie?
Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy? Sorry,
What's up? We're all in the old fart group.
There you go. So Fowler, if you're an adrenaline junkie, man, put the GTR to the side. Get yourself a motorcycle, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Get yourself a bike.
Bro, I've been trying to ride all week, man, but I hurt my wrist, so I'm just like, but
no, you guys need to move away from the bike and move to big old trucks.
I got a big old truck. Well, it's not old, but I got a truck.
Adrenaline junkie.
You know what?
My truck's not old. It's brand new.
The only use for a big old truck is in my rearview mirror.
What? What? I think for some reason, I don't think Odonado understands this yet.
Right on.
Oh, I understand. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Odie. I shouldn't do that.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Oh, he hasn't had his medicine yet, Odie?
Yeah, there you go.
He's on.
Is he in the timeout?
You know what? I'm just going to remove myself.
Did we just
put himself in the timeout?
I teach him one button, bro. I teach him one button.
That's all he needs, man. That's all.
I put myself in a timeout, like
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What's up, Jacob? Jacob's got a prop flex question there. If you want to pull up, it says,
"Yeah, man."
Kryptonian. What's up, Jacob? He says, "My girlfriend is an ICU nurse." Cool, man. My hat goes off to her. That's hard, man. It's a tough job, man, being a nurse. So,
especially in the ICU.
Yeah, it takes a special person, man. So you're a lucky man. I've had a business, and we're starting to look into buying or starting an assisted living facility, small, 10 to 15 beds. Okay. I think is
Next.
part 2. Is that something we can work with in Property Flex, or would you guys even be interested in something like that? If that's the case, then we could look at a bigger facility, maybe 40 or 50 beds. Well, I mean, that's going to be more of a, I think, milky.
So I have a friend. Actually, I have 2 friends that are in the assisted living facility business. That's what they do. They have several of them, and they do really well. They really do. And I think this is definitely something. Now, obviously, Kryptonian and I would have to run it by our other 2 partners. I don't see why we couldn't incorporate this into Property Flex as long as the numbers worked out and everything looked good. I think the assisted living facilities would work very well with our business model. So I think that's definitely something we would consider 150%.
Yeah, let's definitely talk some more, Jake. I appreciate you even asking the question and even considering Property Flex, guys, because we got some stuff happening on the back end, man. We're excited. We're getting those papers ready, as I like to say it.
110%, man.
So guys, we're doing what we need to do on our end so that we can bring you what you need to do, what you do on your end. So I know we haven't been talking much, but there's a lot of back office, I would say, documentation and preparation going on in the back end.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be throwing some Property Flex merch up in the Vulcan merch store. I've thrown some of it together in the background. I just haven't. I was going to make some merch for myself, but Milky and I were talking, and I think we're just going to make it live. Greek's cool with it, so we're just going to throw some Property Flex merch out on the Vulcan merch store. So that's one thing. I think Milky, I don't know if you guys are all in the Discord, but Milky made the announcement that we're the original, the people who buy in on the first round of NFTs are basically going to be called, that's going to be called the Foundation NFTs, and they're gonna have their own chat group, and because the first thing you throw down is the foundation, right? If you're doing a construction, any type of development, first thing that goes down is the foundation, and it's also the most important part. You need a strong foundation, so we're gonna do something special for that group of individuals, and it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yep. I'm excited about that, man. I'm so excited about that. So thanks for the question, Jaco. That's good information.
He always asks really good questions, by the way.
Yep. And this is your question. This is actually for you, Odie. You're the junkie around here, bro. Yeah, you're the one. You're the one who wants to die all the time.
You live in that sub, right, Odie? Would you go on that sub? Would you go down that?
Yeah. No, Odie
subs never. I've been on So I have a ex brother-in-law who. Was on the USS Ohio back in the 80s and 90s, which is a boomer. Yeah. And, Family Day, I went on that, and that's why I joined the Army. I did not want to be on a floating prison, so I was like, oh, heck with the Navy. Nothing against the Navy, but that was it for me. And, of course, when I joined the Army, I wished I had joined the Air Force.
Yeah, I think any branch of government that gets their own song, you shouldn't join them. I'm just saying, you shouldn't sign up.
Yeah,
in the Navy,
that whole
right?
sub thing, man. That's just that's tragedy. I was listening to you guys before I came on. And it's
horrible, man. It's horrible. Of course it is. When you skydive, you sign a waiver saying
exactly. Yeah, what can happen.
Can't use life insurance. Like if I were to die, my life insurance goes, sorry. It's in my death clause, right? So.
Well, when I got life insurance, when my wife are a little younger than now, we got our life insurance for the first time, and the guy's like, okay, so do you have this? Do you do that? I'm like, well, I've had crotch rockets all my life. He's like, okay, well that's fine. We can grandfather that in, but you can't go skydiving for 12 months after this policy goes active, or you get nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that was that was like 15 years before I jumped out of a perfectly good airplane the first time.
Yeah. And I will do it again.
I'm actually taking the class to get my life insurance license to sell life insurance.
Oh, really? Oh,
I did all my jumping in the military. I'm done. I'm not gonna.
I wanted to go airborne. I wanted to go airborne, right? I felt so left out. And then when I went to my my school, my AIT as they call it in the Army, I met up with other people who had gone airborne, and they were like, "Dude, you missed out on nothing. You're on a static line. They throw you out at about 400 odd feet or whatever they said it was.
Not up very high. Yeah.
And you can't steer the parachute. You fall wherever, you land wherever. And I'm like, I don't want to do that crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had one friend busted his knee all up.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And they keep coming though. I mean, the
Yep.
first dude goes, and you're on the,
Yeah.
you're on the zip line,
Yep.
and the next, and you're they heel to toe. That's all the way back. And if you fall, we're all coming after you, and we're
Nuts
pushing you
and
right
buttons.
out the back of the helicopter or the plane.
Mhm.
You're going, so you're gonna bleed the whole way down if you're going, you're done.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Hell no.
So yeah, mad respect for the Navy and everything it has. I mean, there's certain positions in the Navy, or jobs, rates, whatever you want to call it, that I would have loved to have had, but I couldn't qualify for. Like pilot and that kind of stuff back then, because I'm partially colorblind, so being a pilot was out.
Odie, you were you were. I wasn't able to make your live today. Sorry about that. I got caught up in work.
Oh, hey,
But
that's all
last
right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Last week you were feeling kind of bad. How did your week go? I haven't seen or heard from you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I'm still sick.
Oh wow.
Sorry to hear
Oh,
that,
man. I had to take. Yeah. Thanks. I had to take a couple days off last week, and I thought, okay, I'll be fine. And then, it just hasn't gotten any better. It's not COVID. Been tested negative, but yeah, it's just run down, and just hoping this will finally go away. So, yeah. But other than that,
I had gotten sick. If you guys remember, about a week or two ago, and I thought I
Did ya?
recovered. Yeah,
Yeah.
it came in
You were
pretty
down
quick.
for like a week almost.
Yeah,
too,
man,
brother.
it came in quick, and I was like, "Oh, it's gone." And then it
Yeah.
had like a relapse, and it wasn't COVID. It was like just I don't know, a sinus infection, but it took me down for a
Yeah.
week.
My sinuses and my chest it's just been
Yeah.
overdrive, and it's
I've
like
still got
I
some
can't.
congestion, and
Yeah, all that, and it just won't stop. And so last night I broke down, and instead of getting Vicks, which is supposed to be pretty good cough syrup, which of course tastes like gasoline, I broke down and I paid twice as much for Mucinex, their top shelf stuff, for $22 for 9 ounces. And I was like, this had better work.
Or
And I
shots.
finally,
I was like,
Oh,
filet,
dude.
filet mignon, or
oh
Need
my
to get that
God.
lean, brother. You need to get that promethazine with codeine,
No
brother.
shit. I took that. And I haven't gotten like more than 3 or 4 hours in a
Can't get
shot
that over
in
the counter
in
in hour.
2 weeks. And this
Yeah, but I
knocked me
know a
out.
guy.
Oh, so it knocked you out. That was good. You know what? You know another thing that works?
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah. Hot toddy, man.
Bourbon will
Well,
fix
I
anything,
tell you,
That's-
I
brother.
tell you,
Yeah.
I tell you.
Hell yeah, hot toddy.
See, that's what I have. I don't have the correct correct liquor in my cabinet. I only have some JD whiskey. So I need
Anytime I start
bourbon.
oh crap, am I getting a cold or a sore
Bourbon.
throat? I'll
Bourbon.
drink a couple of shots of whiskey, bro.
Yeah,
and
as a
it
matter of
says,
fact, I'm feeling one come on right now. Let me.
Oh yeah,
Great excuse, Chris. Great excuse.
nice. Yeah,
We
Matt
got,
was telling me this
yeah.
morning to use lemon and tea. He's like, you need to
No,
try
no,
lemon and
no.
tea. And I'm
Don't
like,
listen
well,
to all those people, man. I'm
Look up
telling you,
when
a
you're
good
like
bottle
when you're
of
like
bourbon-
7, it makes sense, But
yeah.
Lemon and tea and some honey. No, bourbon.
Yeah, 2
It's
squirts, not 3. It's like it's all.
I'll
it's
tell
like-
you, my son, I don't feel bad. I'm like, well, here's some bourbon. He's like, really?
Bourbon.
Yeah. Drink the bourbon, brother.
and he
Yeah.
He was
five.
doing that. He was doing. I was
five.
just getting ready to say that, dude.
He's like, he's putting on the bottle.
Yeah.
Put that nipple in your mouth, boy.
Here you go, Dad. Giving it back to you before you even brought it up.
Hey,
Great
hey,
minds, brother. Great.
Hey,
minds.
Chris, it's okay. I took one and I paid it forward because I couldn't make Terry's live this afternoon. So
oh,
there you go.
Odie, you have an open invitation anytime we're live, dude. Just
Yeah, bro, all
just
the
hit me
time,
up and ask for the link,
Appreciate
brother.
it,
You're
guys.
always welcome, man.
I missed,
Always
I
welcome.
missed Odie's. I got home like 15 minutes too late.
I know, right? So it
You
kind of
missed
went around
mine.
into circles.
No, we're looking live. We're live together now. Here we go, man. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got on there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to get on here, and I was like, hi everyone, and then
Right.
like I got interrupted, and then when I went back, I was like, dude, he's been off for an hour. Where have you
Right.
been, dude? I was like,
Well-
man, you completely missed it.
So Tuesday, my regular time, right? So
Yep.
Monday, I had problems with my brakes on my car. And so I took it to the shop, and they're like, yeah, bring it in tomorrow. We got to do a full rear end brake job, calipers, the whole 9 yards. You got less than 2 millimeters, and everything's just. So I've got, anyway,
They did
It
the
was-
hose with the caliper, right?
everything.
Always
The
do a hose
whole-
with the caliper. Yeah.
Everything. And I have a 2018 Explorer Platinum with everything on it. And I did not realize that I have the same larger calipers, larger rotors and everything, ceramic rotors, all the shit that the excuse my French, that the state troopers and the police interceptors have. I
You
didn't
had
know
the
that.
police package.
I have all that stuff. I have the twin. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And they go, yeah, the regular Explorer, it costs this much. They said, let me look at your VIN number one more time. They said, yours is going to cost this much.
Of
So
course.
I was like, well,
yours is going to cost government fees.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
government,
But they don't pay for it. We do, honestly.
Right.
So you should have just said, put it on. I put it on the state.
I know, right? Because I'm a
There you
government,
go.
I'm a G man, right? So yeah, unfortunately,
Oh,
government.
I'm sorry. I forgot you work for the G. We got that guy right there that never talks about the government.
Yeah, exactly.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
So,
You're
yeah.
like, you're
I
like, I'm
cannot
government.
confirm nor deny your
Exactly.
discussion.
So Tuesday during my live, I had to be at the shop waiting for my car to get fixed. So I had to
Fun
push
time.
it out to this morning. But Yamap had already scheduled his for 10 a.m. Or 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I was like, okay, how about I go live for an hour and then you go, and then we switch over to you. So that's Chris, the reason why I was gone when you came back.
Oh,
So,
okay. I was like, man,
yeah.
he's done. He's done.
because he had already scheduled his live. So I was talking. I was like, how about you want to be on mine for?
So you guys
like
just kind of
55 minutes?
compromised. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Because I wasn't going to walk on him, I mean,
Yeah.
he'd already scheduled his. So,
Okay.
and I tried something that it apparently doesn't work. Did you guys know? And I've been wanting to do this for forever, but did you know that if you stream directly through YouTube, not through like this or
Through
Melon,
StreamYard or whatever. Yeah.
you can direct your stream towards another channel if it either has a scheduled pending live stream that's coming up, or if it's already streaming right now. And apparently Twitch calls it rating. You ever heard of it?
No.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
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 Raid another channel.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
that's
just
really
send all
cool,
your
yeah.
viewers to another channel that's either in progress or it's got a scheduled live. So I was talking to you now.
You literally on Twitch, Twitch,
Yeah.
you get sent there. You don't have to do
Yeah.
anything. You just
Yeah,
go up
exactly.
and you're like there.
Yeah. So I'm talking to Max a couple days ago, and I said, or yesterday, when I said, hey, let's do it for this. And then I said, I'm going to try and do that and send everybody to your channel automatically because it looks really cool. But I found out that the option isn't there if you're using StreamYard or Melon. You have
you
to
can only do it directly through YouTube.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I just told everybody go to Yamap's channel, but that's a cool idea. It just would be awesome if, you could do that. So
Yeah, the Twitch app does it, but which is now, well, no, it's not now, but the competitor now to Twitch is Kick, and Kick is just like Twitch, and Kick does everything exactly like it does. The only issue is with your subs, all that kind of stuff. Kick is only taking 5%.
Jeez.
Which is a lot lower than YouTube.
And it's a lot lower than Twitch. So there's some other issues, but I enjoy them both. But Kick is now turning into I saw a stat the other day. It took Kick 7 months to get to 10 million accounts.
Wow.
And all the other ones took like 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
So,
Dang.
I mean,
That's pretty
and you got to think about it. You got a bunch of established people on other platforms that are moving to that one, so it's easier now. Back then, they were like,
Well, it's kind of like Rumble kind of took off,
Right.
Yeah. So
but the problem that I have with Rumble is it is very difficult to navigate. It is not easy.
I agree.
And it's like
I agree.
somebody's got to like take that platform of Rumble and like fix it. But
Yeah. it needs some love. I agree.
yeah. But
And I saw 7C's comment earlier about I think a Property Flex merch giveaway. We could probably make that happen at some point as we get a little bit closer.
hey, you guys got to send me your
make
logo. I'll
that
put
work.
it in my merch store and get myself
We
something.
can make that work. I'll send you the whole file if you'd like.
Yeah. I'd like
Yeah,
to.
I'll send
I'd like to
you the whole file. Yeah.
put something. I don't want to take away from your guys' business, but I'd like to get my own stuff.
All right, man. It's hey man, it's all love, brother. So I'll send it to you.
Create my
Oh,
stuff
but
and be
the-
all
you know,
right.
I tried to buy your Bitcoin Daddy shirt. No, I'm joking.
I made one for you on that.
It was all,
Just
but
for
the problem is it's all female shirts. What's up with that? There's none
Oh,
in
there's
men.
men. Sure, you guys scroll down. You just didn't scroll down far enough.
I was on my phone. I was like, this bastard. There's like no freaking men sizes. Okay, I thought it
So-
was funny.
so,
you're right, but
Billy-
I didn't go all the way down.
Are we talking about the old school
Yeah, old school. Super.
UJZ
Oh, yeah.
GTE, or are we talking about the new BMW Supra?
Yeah.
So that's a big difference, man. So I've actually got a 1989 Chrysler Conquest with a 2JZ GTE in it with a single turbo.
Oh,
it's
so you're
it's
flexing
bad
now, right?
ass. It
Your
is
your
bad
car
ass.
flexing now.
I love.
I barely remember that
man.
car, but that is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Well, the engine at the time it was the biggest 2.6 liter turbo, and it was cool. It had like the digital dash in the late 80s and steering wheel controls for the radio and all that stuff, and it had the wide body like a Porsche. So it was a pretty cool car, but the engines were junk. It had throttle body fuel injection. They were just junk. So you take those out.
Oh,
and
it did
put
have
in-
fuel injection.
Yeah.
It wasn't carb. Oh wow!
Yeah. Yeah, it had throttle body fuel injection, so you had one primary and one secondary, but it wasn't direct injected, so it always had air fuel ratio issues and stuff like that. So those engines were just junk. But yeah, you take those out and put something in that's reliable, like a 2J, or a lot of guys were putting LS1s into them. Bad ass. Yeah.
Sounds like
That's what I kind of like about my Honda CBR 1000RR. It has dual stage fuel injection. So you get about 7,000 RPMs and it just showers tons more gas in there.
Yeah.
It's not quite like a turbo, but it's dang close.
Well, that's
Oh, the
that's
CBR
basically
1000 was the first crotch rocket I bought.
it's basically
First
like
bike I
Honda's
ever rode,
VTEC.
and I was like, I almost killed myself, man.
Yeah.
It's fast.
when that flapper opens up and
Mhm.
just lets all that extra air into the air
Yeah.
box, and that happens, it all happens at once.
It's Honda's VTEC. If you remember
Yeah.
their VTEC.
I remember the
much,
VTEC. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
I
the
had a
so
little
the
Civic VTEC. Yeah,
Yep.
dude. Yeah,
bigger, more fuel, bigger lobes on the cam kick in. It's all
Dude,
oil
took me
pressure.
back, bro.
like,
Took me
dude.
back to the 90s,
Yeah, man,
bro.
VTEC.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be liking
With
that
the-
action.
That's
Yeah,
way
with the
back.
B16s
Early
and the
2000s,
B18Cs.
Yeah, dude. I thought I was.
I've also got a 92 Civic Si hatchback with a GSR.
Oh,
Dude, I
E18.
actually had a 92.
Yep.
Dude, that's crazy.
I
dude.
had an
remember-
88 CRX SI, and I just thought I was the king
love
of the
those
hill.
cars. Love
That
those
thing could
cars,
barely
man.
do 120 miles an hour downhill with the
They
wind.
were badass cars though, man. They're
I thought
bringing
they were
they're
cool.
bringing serious money, man. Like I was looking at how much my Corrado was worth. I got like a 92 Corrado as well. They're if you go to bringatrailer.com, they're bringing like $20,000 to $30,000. Like
Wow.
stupid
Seriously?
money.
Damn,
Yeah,
really?
Wow.
stupid money. Because you can't find them in good shape. You know, people have wrecked them or butchered them up. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like
And
my
it's-
Suburban. That's right.
All I can say is that I read part of Fowler's last comment, and he's saying that Chevy has never done him wrong in the past because it's the greatest car.
Obviously,
line
you're not a
ever.
mechanic.
I've worked on. Listen,
Yeah, we do have the expert mechanic right here.
obviously,
this is all I'm going to say
the
about
correct
Chevy.
answer is obviously you're leasing and you're trading them in.
I
every
do like
single
the
year.
I do like the LS1 motor, man. That's
But listen, a Chevy you can affordably work on and
Yeah.
this is
repair it.
true.
The
This
cost
you-
of ownership
if you
is
have-
definitely
If you
makes
have the
sense.
intelligence to do it, you can do 99% of Chevy repairs yourself.
I have a
Truly
GMC,
believe
which is
that.
Chevy. I have
But-
a
Yeah.
You own a Ford, a Ram, anything. It seems like there's
Good
and
God.
Toyota.
What is that?
Toyota is very reasonable. You can do good with Toyota. The rest of them,
Sweet.
man, you're gonna lose an arm and a leg if you got to repair them. That's the way I feel about it.
That's my dude right there. Okay. Oh Billy, I see you. So I used to have an IS300 Lexus, and
Lexus.
it has the 2J GE, so it didn't have the turbo, but I put a single turbo on it. Hit me up, man. I'll send you pictures at some
There you
point in
go.
time. But the SC300, they're bad, man. That's a bad car.
Hey,
So
my
You know,
A7
something-
my
something that-
What's up, Leo? Just want to say what's up. Just talking, man. Haven't seen you in a bit,
what's
bro.
up?
How you
Just
doing?
talking.
Yeah, what's
brother?
up, Leon?
Join
You know
if you want,
something
bro.
everybody
Yeah.
on
Give me the link, man.
everybody
Just
on this panel, everybody up here knows how to use a manual vehicle, manual
hell yeah.
transmission vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
motorcycles.
Listen,
That's
no,
that,
we called
I'm
those
talking-
stick
so,
shifts back when
I
I
know
was.
some-
bro.
Yeah, I own quite.
if
a
the
few,
zombie apocalypse happens tonight, how
I get
many folks that are under the age of 40 would be able to get out of town if the only vehicles were available that were manual?
I'd be
I'm not
looking
making
for-
fun of anybody.
I
I'm
would be
just
looking
saying.
for an Acura
Good
RSX, and then I'd be on my way.
Yes, yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
So it's
you know what, Odie? I agree
missed
with you
that,
on
too.
that. But I agree with you on that. But I have a very weird situation. I thought that exact same thing. But
Yeah.
my 3 son-in-laws, every single one of them drives sticks totally fine, have no problem, and they actually own stick shift vehicles.
Cool.
That's cool.
I was shocked because I was thinking the same thing, but everyone they're like, yeah,
There are
Especially
car
when-
guys that are younger that have embraced that, but a lot of the
But in
newer
general-
vehicles, man, you can't even get them. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't even order
I mean,
'em.
even Ferrari has said, "We're done.
Well, everything
we're
now
not
is
doing it
paddle
anymore."
shift, electronic transmission.
Yeah, I hate that
Yeah,
paddle
honestly,
shift.
Yeah,
I don't,
I
like
see
the,
that.
I don't like the paddle shifts, man.
My
I mean,
Mercedes
Yeah, you
has
gotta
that
get-
shit.
you got to
Nah,
go
bro.
old school when the shifter was on the column, bro.
3 on the
I
tree.
mean, yeah.
My dad,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I actually had my first truck was 3 on the tree, brother.
Yep. I've
you only
driven
had
quite a
2
few.
gears, bro. You had the front where you had to crank it, and then you had the
And Jacko 13, yeah, to your comment, I never actually
Wow,
rode
son.
dirt bikes, but I know that from what I remember,
Shut
two-stroke
up,
dirt bikes,
Mookie.
their power band, there's a slight delay, and then it
Yeah.
kicks in real hard. On street bike, four cylinder liter plus bike, well, not even 600s now, but crotch rockets, you don't wait. It's just
Nah.
instant
It's
power,
instant.
and it's
as soon as you turn
everywhere.
that throttle, man, you're doing a wheelie. if
It
you're
goes
not
from
paying
Yeah.
attention.
bad to super scary to flatten your eyeballs wholly blank.
Yeah.
Those are the levels. It's just it's just crazy, but not downplaying the dual strokes, because those certainly knew how to fly like bats out of hell.
Yeah,
for
see,
sure.
Mookie's got it right here, man. A big block Chevy, man.
Oh,
They do not make them like that anymore.
No
man.
way.
66
like out of
Nova.
steel,
Nova.
like out of steel, not fiberglass. You're right.
The
That's
It's
that.
a,
Nova.
66
They do
Nova.
not make them. Yeah.
The 6667 Nova square body with the 396 was better.
that's a nice one.
Oh, then a Chevelle? Shut up.
I'm
You
a
know
nerd.
what?
I'm
You
a
know what?
nerd.
I don't even want to. We're not going there, man. We are not going there.
No, I'm not
I draw the line. I
love
draw
it.
the line.
I love it.
Vells are overhyped.
You're welcome,
Vells
Terry.
are overhyped.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I
Billy,
actually
I
paddle
was
shift on my
yeah.
vehicle every day, but
just
you're right.
ready to say that, man.
It just isn't the same. I mean, I put it into manual shift sometimes, and I'll play with it. My wife and I last year in May, we went down the coast from Seattle all the way to San Francisco, down Highway 1 and 101. Had a blast.
All this, right?
Doing-
All this.
Oh yeah, it was all of that. And of course, my wife hated it. She's probably watching right now, going, "Oh, she was ready to puke." But I was having the time of my life, shifting like the crap out of my twin turbo. But it ain't the same as being on a bike or in a manual car, like a sports car, like a GTR. Like
motorcycle is the closest thing to flying without actually being in a plane or jumping from a plane.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I think driving a manual shift, I mean, the power. So I think if Fowler, if you're still listening, bro, hopefully you get yourself a manual transmission GTR, bro. I mean, that's otherwise you're just gonna just you might as well get a Tesla.
Yeah.
You might as well just get a
right.
Tesla, bro. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine an electric or a manual that's electric? That'd be funny as hell.
I thought about that. That would just be so weird.
It would be like this.
I don't think you could shift fast enough.
Yeah,
it would have a controller like this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Look,
I
joysticks and shit.
So I think like the electric cars need to have a download that you can hear the engine roar because there's no engine, right?
Well, they have some that play sound. You can actually.
really?
I think that's
Oh,
a
my
feature, if I'm
goodness.
not
That's
mistaken.
enough.
Yes.
They play sound.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
enough.
I believe that is
You know
a
what?
feature.
We just went off the rails. We need to get back to politics.
Okay.
Now we're talking stupid.
I
You
can
have
talk
an electric
cars
car
all
that
day
makes
long.
a sound.
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
agree.
that's
I agree. Yeah.
that's messed up.
Janice says that she doesn't know how
What's
to
up,
have a
Janet?
stick, though.
Long
There's
time no
somebody
see,
I
Janet.
haven't. I was gonna say
Wow.
I haven't seen her around in forever. How you doing,
what's going
Jana?
on, girl? Good
Yeah,
to see you.
good to see you.
Live here, but
Yeah.
it's easy. It's easy. You just can't be
It
doing your
is.
makeup while you're driving. That's all I can say.
Hey, Jana.
Need both hands.
Hey, Kryptonian and NR, didn't I a few months back or so, didn't I send you guys that the link for that video on YouTube from Haggerty? That was, remember, it was a Ducati, not a Desmos Sedisi. Which one was it? Crap, I cannot remember which Duke it was. There was a Ducati, a Panigale. I think that's how you say it.
No.
Yeah, remember? It was Panigale, and it was versus a Bugatti Veyron, a Tesla Plaid, a Tesla, what is it, Model S Plaid?
It was the X Plaid. Yeah.
Yes, and the guy. So they remember, and this is so you two remember this, but for those of you that don't know how stupid fast all these vehicles are, they put these all up against each other, and the crotch rocket guy was like a
Yeah.
multi-time world champion. He actually turned off all the electronic wizardry. So he turned off the traction control, the anti-wheelie control, everything that someone like me, I need to not kill myself.
Yeah.
And he still beat which one? It was the Tesla Model S, I
It was
think,
the Tesla,
by
yeah,
a
yeah.
hair, just by a hair. I think the Bugatti
Yeah.
actually beat him.
But that's all you need. That's all you need is that freaking.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how stupid fast. And his front wheel was off the ground almost.
And
the
how much
entire
is
mile.
the Bugatti?
I know, right? Like
You know?
50 of those
Yeah.
Ducatis or
$1
something.
million.
Yeah, man.
Crazy how fast. I would kill myself. Absolutely.
I think the sports cars are just more for curb appeal. You get them, you park them, and
Oh,
you know,
it's a flex. It's
it's a flex.
It's a
Hey,
status symbol, man.
that's
It's
all
a
it is. It's all.
status
I mean, don't get me
symbol,
wrong. It's a nice one. It's like a.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's no different than if
Yeah.
you're a watch guy at the end of the day, a Rolex or something.
There you
But,
go.
I mean, I'm just not into cars, man. I'm more into dirt. I want to own real estate. You know, propertyflex.io. But
Eventually, you'll get yourself one of those just because you can.
just because I
want
can,
a
yeah.
three-door-
Just
I
to
want a
can.
You know?
I will. I will.
Yeah.
And
I'll
our-
probably get me a few more Ducatis before I get me a sports car.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel you.
And our
Or actually, I'll get a plane before I get me a Ferrari or a Lambo. But
Yeah, helicopter.
I got a 3-door Suburban. And our
What's that?
a 3-door Suburban,
Okay,
like the older ones, right?
I'm familiar. Yeah,
Just for nostalgia. I mean, not. For
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I wanted an old
Nomad?
school. No, well, first of all, I really like I think it's the 6-wheeled,
Yes.
the Mercedes G wagons, the 6-wheeled joints.
Yeah.
First of all,
Oh.
they're badass.
That
They're
G-Wagon,
badass,
dear
yeah.
Lord.
Now that's
If
a
money
status.
fell out
That's
the
a
sky,
status.
I would
Yeah.
buy that.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's a
That's
status.
a $250,000 box on wheels.
That's all it is.
Unreal.
That's
But
all
you
it
just
is,
know if
man.
someone
It is
has
pretty
one,
nice inside.
they're either dirt ass
They're
poor or
nice.
they have they're car poor or they're freaking
Yeah.
rich. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's one or the other. There ain't no middle class driving that shit, man.
Right.
Mm-mm.
All in, all
Unless,
out.
unless
right?
it's rented. 7C
Yeah.
says Chevys are great. I own a piece of every Chevy. Me too, bro. Because the government actually bailed them out a couple years ago, and this is why Chris Cruz loves Chevys because he works for the government.
Oh, what's that song by Johnny Cash? And
Which one?
every year the cars a different year model. Johnny Cash.
The only Cash song I know is Ring of Fire.
But he has a song like, and the whole car was made 56, 57, 58, 59, whatever. And every year he snuck a piece out of the factory and they made a car out of it. You never heard that song before?
No, I have to check it out. That sounds
I'll
interesting.
put my-
I like
I'll
Cash,
go-
man.
I'll go on mute and find it.
I love Johnny Cash.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Yeah,
He's
one
cool.
one truck I think I would get is an old school. I'm talking like old school, Land Rover Defender.
Yeah, but
I always
Land Rover-
thought they were badass.
You know, in your professional opinion, how are they?
They are complete junk.
Okay, there you go. That's all I need.
They
to
are complete junk. Even the newer ones I had. So I had an 06 Range Rover Sport Supercharged, and it's great. I mean, it's a luxury car. It's got air ride. It drives like a luxury car should. They're nice on the inside. They constantly break. They constantly have electrical issues. They're always in the shop, and they're expensive as hell to fix. They are junk. But if you can afford it and you don't mind, if you're going to buy a new one every 30,000 miles, they're great cars, or maybe even 50. But I even remember
Defender?
on that one, that was my Range Rover. And
the
even
Range
on the
Rover-
newer ones. Yeah, Range Rover Sport Supercharged.
Is that the
So-
Defender one? The Range Rover Defender?
No, so Land Rover is the parent company. So it's Land Rover Defender, Land Rover Range Rover.
Oh, okay. I've seen. I get those screwed up all the time. Land Rover, Range Rover. I just think it's the weirdest way
Yeah.
they did that.
So and
I've seen one.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had LR3s. I've had all kinds of those, and they're junk. They really are. Land
Right.
Rovers are
So-
pieces of
That's
shit.
too bad because they're
Just like
they're,
Jaguars. Jaguars are pieces of shit.
So the song by Johnny Cash is called "One Piece at a Time."
I'll
One
check it
piece
out.
at a time.
Yeah, we got Tina and Seven throwing some.
There
some
you
clues
go.
out there. I'll have to check it out, guys. The only really song I've ever grown up with, I mean, I say grown up with, I remember is Ring of Fire. You know, that was just that's
Come on.
No,
That's
no,
not even-
no.
Joaquin Phoenix played a hell of a Johnny Cash.
and
man.
yeah, exactly.
He did.
He
he
did,
did.
man. He definitely did.
He's a damn good.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about Range Rovers?
Mm.
Yeah, we were just
Junk.
talking about how you
Yeah, my-
you love Jeff.
my sister has a Range Rover, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's real nice, looks good and everything like that. But they're making huge mistakes, man. They got those huge rims on those, and the sidewalls on the tires. She's had to get her tire. She's broke down on the highway with
There you
blown
go.
tires 2 different times.
There you go.
And she's had to, and every single time, it's the sidewalls, man. They just blow out because they got those huge rims, tiny little profile tires on them, and everything like that. And they can't take that weight over that extended period of time. So
Yeah, and they're a heavy vehicle. They really are, man.
enormous, man. When we used to work on them and pull them on the lifts, we had to put them on the drive-on lift because
of the air suspension.
It was like, but the drive-on lift now that's made for like heavy vehicles, and it wouldn't strain as bad with but it would move slow. It was like,
it would kind of labor a little bit to get
Yeah.
it up. And I'll tell you what, man, them drive on lifts doing like exhaust work and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the even
yeah,
brake work
because
is a
the
pain in the
lanes are so
Yep.
big on
Yep.
both sides that every single time you got to get to a certain bolt,
Mhm.
you basically got to cut off the
So-
lift to get to it because you're like,
Yep.
you know.
So if you go in a Land Rover, if you go into a Land Rover dealership, like in their service department, that's all you'll see is drive-ons. They have no, 2-post lifts at all. Because
I'm not a big fan of the insurance liability on it was always like, oh my god, they're gonna drop
my
this.
least favorite were the 2-post in-ground lifts.
Oh yeah.
I hated those things.
Oh my god. Yeah. Then you gotta
Or the
release
single post in-ground lifts were the worst. But
Oh yeah, where they had like
the X.
yeah, and work on a transmission on that
Yep,
shit, man. I was
exactly.
like,
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
back in the day. That's back when they just invented cars, wasn't it, Kryptonian? I'm not sure. I figured.
Well, the only issue I have is the way you said, "Oh my god." You said, "Oh my god." I was like, "What was that?"
Like a Valley Girl?
yeah, it's like he goes.
Oh my god, like totally.
I just saw it.
I didn't want to bring this up. I didn't want to bring this up, but I heard through the grapevine that there are voting records
Yes, I did too. I heard
near
that.
where you live, and it is a scandal in the community that you are actually registered as a Democrat, and
And
you
I
have
am?
voted. You have voted Democrat the last couple elections. I heard. They told me.
I saw a report.
They told you. Hmm. So, are they the same people that taught
to
you
the
the work?
moon?
Oh, yeah. Is this the same government that paid you for your entire career and you retired off of?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I heard, buddy. I'm not sure, and I thought that would be like something that I was like, no way.
I appreciate the concern, really, I do. Even though I know you're not concerned, but I appreciate it. Bro,
Hey, I
you
like
know
that
ain't no damn
comment.
Democrat, man. And to all the Democrats out there, yeah, I said it.
Jacko 13. I like his comment. He's thinking about the Diamond DA40. I eat up videos about Diamond, especially the DA40, the DA42, and I love the Pipistrel Panthera. Bro, we got to meet because you and I, we're thinking the same. I don't know. NR, Kryptonian, you guys know those airplanes, don't you?
I'm familiar. I wouldn't say I've
Okay.
I've dived deep on them or done that
Okay.
deep dive, but
The
I've
DA40,
seen them.
it's their-
I'm familiar. Yeah.
it's like their version. It's like their competitor to like the Cessna 172. So it's a 4-seater, but it's mostly composite body and fuselage, and there's just so much more to it. It can go way farther on a tank. Blah 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 blah. Really cool. It's a single prop.
It's a single prop.
It's a single prop.
Is this like a sports type plane where you got to get you got to get like a license to fly it?
You need a I believe you need a private pilot's license.
Okay.
It's not a sport. It's not in the sport category.
So yeah, so I'm gonna get an
It's too
Icon
heavy.
A5. This is what I'm gonna get right here. All right.
So there's $500,000 for an 80-knot cruising speed boat with wings. I think that's a bitchin' plane, but you pay way too much, in my personal opinion, for
Yeah,
the
they
performance you get.
They were about you're right, but I don't have.
It's
to
a
get
cool
license.
plane though.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, these A5s here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know exactly. I've been following this plane for like 8 years.
Yeah,
I
same
know
here,
everything
same
about
here.
it.
Yeah, I actually put a deposit on one and I backed out because I
wow.
decided. Yeah, I went through a divorce. I gotta back out.
Well, that'll do it every time.
That'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
too
like,
bad.
wait a minute. She'll get the plane. Cancel the deal,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean,
Shut the-
this plane is revolutionary. I mean, to say the least, for those that don't know, the wings fold like on an aircraft carrier, and you
Yeah.
can put this thing in a trailer
And
that
then
you can buy.
You could put it in your
Yeah.
garage, man. I mean,
Yeah, you can put it in your freaking garage.
it
Because the
it
wings
flies
fold.
about 300.
Yeah.
It flies about 300 miles. So you know where I am here, where I'm
So
at.
it goes
and
just as far as a Tesla.
just about, yeah. Yeah. On gas, bro. On gas. Think about that. No, but there's a couple places here from like that I would like to fly to, just on the coast of Texas. You know, I can fly out to freaking Padre, man, and just park that joker, have
Why?
lunch, come right back.
That'd
I'm
be
just saying
cool.
Padre, but
That'd be
cool.
as an
Padre.
example. But this is the first plane I'm going to get. I mean, I do have others in mind, but this is the first. This is where I'm going to get my ears wet. No pun intended. But
Not literally, hopefully, while you're
but
flying the plane.
I love the fish, but we got hundreds of lakes out here that I could definitely just fly out to, man. In the middle of Texas and down the south, and I could just go out there and fish and come right back. And I can park this in my garage on my property. I don't have to go to my freaking to my
Hangar.
storage hangar.
Yeah.
you
don't
know,
have
20
to
miles
pay
away,
somebody
so.
to store it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a small plane. It's a 2-passenger plane. But
It's a
but
sport light, so
Yeah, it's
you only have
sport-
to do 20 hours,
That's it. That's right.
and then then I think
it's-
10
it's-
hours with their specialized
It
training.
looks
if I
pretty
remember.
badass up in the air too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the tech is
It has an
amazing.
angle of attack indicator on it. I mean,
It's got
you
a
watch-
lot of tech, dude. It's got a shitload of tech in it, dude. For this,
It looks like a BMW cockpit.
It kind of
There it
does.
is. There it is, right there, man. There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think it's a great plane. I just think it's
Where's
way
the
overpriced for what
I
you
agree
get.
with you. I agree with you.
But if I had
Well,
money to
you're
throw
also
in-
paying for that convenience, right? You're paying that for that
Yeah.
convenience to
True
be able to
enough.
store it and put it on the trailer, and
you can get the what is it?
I'm
the
sure
low-tax
the tech
99.
into the folding. I'm sure the tech that's built into the folding wings is no joke.
It isn't
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
And you're
Yeah.
right. So the cost. I could get a traditional plane, a single prop or whatever the front
Sure.
plane. But I'm gonna have to pay for the hangar. I've got to get the license. So I'm gonna end up paying $500K when it's all said and done, if not just the maintenance and all those things. But this, and he says, Jaco says he likes the pipistrel, and this one comes with the parachute as well.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I remember,
ballistic, yeah.
I remember this plane that I'm talking about, the Icon A5. I think when I was first getting into them, they were the A4 at the time. But there was I think it was either Major League Baseball or football player. He was an athlete. He actually had one of these, and he got high on some pills or whatever.
I remember that,
And he went out into the bay in San Francisco somewhere, and
Yep.
he ended up dying. Yeah, I remember that. But he
and it was
crashed.
totally his fault.
Yeah, it was totally his fault. Yeah, and I remember going, "Do I really want this plane?" I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't."
Well, you wouldn't be all
That
high.
plane-
Yeah, I was like, "I don't get high. I don't
It's
take
got-
pills."
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
It's gotten
Yeah.
some bad press, and it's because of bad pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making bad
That's
mistakes. It's a
usually what
great
happens,
plane.
you know? Yeah.
The I mean, it's almost impossible to stall that airplane if you watch any reviews, which you guys obviously have. I mean, that plane is. I mean, it's a technical marvel in technological marvel in planes, in my opinion. It's almost impossible to crash the plane unless you're just an idiot or you're high, like that
Yeah.
guy was.
Yeah, I would assume
Not
you should
you,
never
no.
be high in while flying an airplane. That
No,
sounds like a bad combination. of
I've had a
being high or
client that
drunk,
allowed me to
you know.
fly his plane. He has a plane. He has a jet now, but he had a single prop plane. He would send me across Texas to one of his offices, and he hired a United. His neighbor was a United Airlines pilot. He hired that guy. Those pilots make money off the side. They just fly in private planes all over the place. And anyways, I got to go with him, and I think I've told the story before. He taught me to fly it. Well, I got to fly. I probably have 40 hours of flying. I mean, if you want to add it. I mean, obviously not in a classroom, but I loved it, man. I'm like, oh, this is a bucket list for me. Top 5, 100%. And the closest, as I say it all the time, is riding a motorcycle, because it's just me in the road, and
Yep.
it's just the same thing with a plane. Now you get up in there high, you get to the right altitude, avoid the clouds and the storms, and it's on autopilot, but it's still dangerous as hell, man. I mean, that prop goes out, you know what I mean? You falling, bro. I mean, yeah, I'm not you can glide down, but it's just a rush. I love it, man. I love flying. It's a lot of fun.
The glide ratios on some of the light sport planes, though, that one included, the Pipistrel, that Panthera, that Jacko was saying. I mean, there's a couple of the DA-40. Some of them have almost 10-to-1 glide ratios. Every 10 feet you go out, it only drops 1. So your engine falls out of the plane, even without a parachute. With that kind of glide ratio, the impact you can survive.
You can survive it. Have you ever hang glided? Have you ever done that?
No, that's on my list too.
Mine too, man. Dude, we gotta hang out, bro.
We got a lot of stuff we got to do on
Hell
our
yeah,
bucket
dude.
list.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
let's get these projects out the way. Let's make some money, man.
and I was going to say, to switch it
that's
up,
fun.
what do you guys think about the new vesting that was announced? How do you guys feel about the new Vulcan vesting? I'd love to hear everyone's opinion up here.
Well, it'll make it hard for the price to get. I mean, none of us vested folks are going to be able to dump, so we won't be able to contribute to the price going down. So that's a good thing.
I guess the way to sum it up for me is I'm not going to be buying an Icon A5 this year.
Yeah,
Maybe in 5 years, but
yeah.
no.
Does it change anything for you guys as far as strategy?
The vesting
or-
doesn't change anything for me
know?
because I mean I never planned to dump anyways. You know, I mean for me this is a long term. I do own a note. I own a small modest bag, so it's no big deal for me. I mean there's other ways I can claim through the flex and the PowerPoint like this. So I mean at the end of the day, I mean it's not like it sucks for those that are like crap. It's extending it, but remember guys, if you don't have there's two ways to be broke. You can be broke because you don't have a plan, or you're broke because you have a plan, and at the end of that plan, you're gonna have some money. So at the end of the day, I mean, just make the best of it. I mean, you got to make it work.
Great.
I mean, nothing ever goes as planned, so plan for everything. If you were absolutely hoping this was going to take you out of the rat race, you're mistaken. Nothing will ever take you out of the rat race, but you.
150%, brother.
But no faith in any man, but only in yourself. This can be a stepping stone. This can be a catalyst to give you that. You know what? This to me, I see this as a stream of income, one of multiple that I like to say that I have. So yeah, I'm okay with it if that answers your question. I mean, it didn't break my heart. I'm not all pissed off. I'm like, hey, the team has to do what they have to do.
Do you feel like it was needed, or do you feel like the previous vesting plan would have been sufficient?
Well, I don't know why they did it though. There was really no explanation why they did it, other than I think the preface was, "Hey, to reward everybody, we're going to increase we're going to re-enable the rebasing for a few months." And I'm like, "Well, hell yeah!" And then, but we're going to extend the so all they did was say, "We're going to give you one and take one."
Yeah.
So we're basically still at zero. If that makes any sense.
So I believe they had to do it.
I believe that they did
because of the rebasing, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's almost like I don't understand why maybe they didn't put a vote out and say, do you want us to turn on the rebasing? But if we do that, we're going to have to institute this new vesting period.
Yeah.
Or do you want to leave well enough alone and just sit back and wait? So it's almost like they're giving us the rebasing so you can sit back and watch your bag grow, so you're not so impatient. You're like, when's it going to launch? When launch? When launch?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
But
that's why I think I think it was more of a, hey guys, we hear you, we understand, we appreciate you guys being patient. Hey, we're going to give you some more money, although it isn't all up front. It's over time investing. I think it's a win-win I think it's a win for us because we're getting a little bit more, and it's a win for them because they're giving.
They get everybody to shut the hell up. Too.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it. I'm not pissed off. To me, I'm neutral. I wasn't bad or good news for me. Okay. I mean, I just want the blockchain.
Chris, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Sir, how do you feel about the vesting? Was it necessary? Do you like the rebasing? Did you like how it was previously? What do you feel thinking there, brother?
I originally feel that their vesting should have been a lot longer.
I think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I was surprised that it took so long. I think that this blockchain, I think that it should have been announced before any kind of sacrifice and everything like that. I think things should have been just a little bit different. But I mean, that's armchair quarterbacking, you know. So I mean, it's easy to.
Do you think they overpromised and then scrambled to say, okay, well, because they gave people a lot of free money.
I think that they did. But at the same time, I think the circumstances were different at that time. So
Agreed.
I can't really blame the team because at that time that made a good idea. It made sense. Okay. But I'm not affected by the vesting. I'm not.
So it doesn't change anything for you at all. You're not upset.
They could lock it up for 5 years, and I would not even. I wouldn't even.
You wouldn't bat an eye, man. You just okay.
Yeah, because my whole thing is volume, and I.
Now, do you think this new vesting period will affect volume at all?
No. I don't think so at all. I think that it'll affect price and it'll be helpful in the long run and everything like that. But the only problem that I have with everything is I truly feel that this is devastating to the community. I think you have people that didn't understand a blockchain. They didn't understand the vesting. They didn't understand a lot of different things about it. They're depending on some type of return. They were heartbroken with the first vesting, and I don't think they found a solution or found their peace or whatever you want to call it. And this just makes it even worse for them. So that's what I'm more concerned about.
Yeah. And I think you're right there. And I've actually seen a plethora of nodes come up for sale because people need that money that they've been going for pretty reasonable prices. I'm talking like, you know, I've seen a few that were pretty reasonable. And I've seen people unloading their nodes because they need some money. Maybe they overinvested. Maybe they don't want to wait. Maybe they, saw the vesting and they're like, the hell with it. So now, do you think it's devastating even though they're turning on the rebasing, or do you feel like that's just, just a trivial thing?
I think the rebasing is going to help anybody that's vested. So
what's up, guys?
I think you're talking about. But I think we're talking about two different things here, because I think that if you're an investor, not just someone that's in a project, if you're an investor, my investment is more secured by the vesting, and the project 110%. Made the right decision, and I'm happy that they did that as an investor. But as an individual, and caring about the community and the people that are in here and what they've gone through so far and how they reacted to the first announcement of the vesting and then the second announcement and then this one, I think it's very devastating for the community, because there's a lot of people that haven't come to peace with the previous announcements, and it's just rougher for them as they go along. To me, as an investor, and this is a very solid decision and a very good
a lot
decision.
of that.
Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of that.
And I can completely understand that. I mean, a lot of people by this time right now, they were expecting to have a little bit of cash, or they're having a little bit of, money in their pocket. Maybe they got over with the vesting, and the blockchain would have been launched and everything like that. Okay, and I understand that, and I'm sure the team understands that.
Sure,
but I think it's hard what I can do and what we as a community can do is educate people on why that this for the blockchain is really, really good.
Oh, for longevity, it's great.
But this also brings up a concern to me as an investor and thinking, in different terms. I'm concerned about liquidity now.
Okay, so do you feel that liquidity is an issue, and maybe that's why they've extended this vesting? So is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, and liquidity, and I'm not saying like that there's like people doing nefarious things.
Right.
I'm saying with the things that they're having to do, that this may be something that they needed to secure more liquidity, and they had to shore up the foundation a little bit more. So that's my concern as an investor. I don't think it's a real big concern. I'm thinking more along the lines of the fact that they're doing so much. I would like to know a little bit more as to like what they are doing, but at the same time, I don't really want to know. It's kind of difficult.
Well,
but
I will say this, that it is, as we are building Prism Chain, right? Mm-hmm. It's NR myself, we have actually got
we've spun up some more servers,
and we got servers running. We're running some of the social media websites and all these things. So there's money being spent right now. Every second counts. I'm spending money, and myself, money's coming out of our pockets every second of every day,
right?
And the chain's not up. So at the end of the month, when that bill comes in, I'm paying this bill, and I'm realizing, and it adds up, right? So I'm thinking, okay, it's another month down, another month we haven't launched, or another week. So we're not making it. The project doesn't have any revenue coming in. So at some point in time, we have to go at when we either got to get this thing launched, or we've got to do something to generate some revenue. So in regards
Right.
to how is this relative to Vulcan, well, they've been spending all this money on marketing and
Right.
devs and all these
With
things
zero coming in.
with zero coming, no revenue coming in. So for those of you saying, oh, it doesn't take, money to launch a chain or whatever, it does. It costs. I don't know. I know what our cost is, and it's nowhere near what they're, what Vulcan's doing,
Right.
obviously.
Exactly. That's where my problem, not my problem, but my concern comes from, because of the fact that I don't want people to think that I'm thinking that liquidity is a problem, like there's something going on.
No, I hear what you're saying.
My problem is liquidity. They are doing an enormous amount of stuff. Their bills are going up. To
Sure.
do this is
And they're being
smart.
extended from the delay
Right.
as well.
Right.
Yeah,
That's another thing
extension.
that people
Mhm.
don't understand.
Yeah.
You got Plan B, you got Brian, you got the team out there putting out notices. Look, they want this blockchain launched. I mean, you've got to understand they're losing money every single
Yeah.
day. So
Sure.
If they add a month, Chris,
yeah,
if they add a month to development, that's payroll for 30 days for the devs.
Mhm.
They got to get paid. At the end of the day, you got to pay your devs and you got to pay for the hardware.
right.
And I know what that cost is. So the point is that you're right, man. They got no money coming in. So
And that's where my concern with liquidity comes from.
That makes,
because,
I mean, that makes
now,
sense. Makes
now
sense.
what we're doing here is, I'm not, like I said, not nefarious or anything like that. They're spending a lot of money to bring this to market. Okay. All right. You're making these changes. This is a good, sound business decision. I understand the little guys feeling left out, and I feel for you. But as a blockchain down the line, you will look back at this and say, oh, this was a good move. I think.
Agreed.
But my concern now is, okay, does this fix any problems that they foresee with the blockchain and their spending, what they're doing now? If this does, I'm at peace. I'm okay. All right, good. But if this is a concern that they're trying to fix it, and it's a good idea and it may fix it, is there a problem with liquidity now? So
That's all great points, and thanks for sharing your thoughts, Chris. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there with a lot of stuff too. Yeah, no doubt. Now, historically as well, summertime has never been a great time to launch a blockchain.
Right.
Do you guys think that has played into the delay at all as well?
I think historically, tomorrow is never a good time to launch anything in crypto because everything changes like that, right? So, but yeah, I agree with you. In RA historically, I mean, it just doesn't work out.
And the market conditions that we're in right now. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
Bitcoin had a little pump because of the BlackRock and the ETF and all that type of stuff. But like I said, historically, blockchains tend to do better, when we're not in the summertime, when people aren't on vacation, and there's more money to put into investing as a whole, I guess, in crypto. So
I think Greek and I have been waiting for SafeMoon to launch at least 2 Christmases now, right? At least two.
And Greek-
years ago when they
Yeah. So now no blockchain, but now
Yeah.
they're supposed to be launching an exchange here soon. But hey, whatever.
And Greek, same question to you, man. I would love to hear your thoughts on the vesting. Was it needed? Do you like it? The rebasing, like what are you,
like
what are
Chris
your thoughts
said,
and
if you're
feelings?
going to add rebasing, you can't just give away more free money. I already think
Right.
the LP, there was issues before, and that's why they went to vesting. That was one of the reasons. Why are you going to give free money away? I think they realized the vesting wasn't enough, and they couldn't spin it just alone with vesting. So how do you do it? You give away more free money, and now you give us something. We're okay with it. I've always said my bag is never going to be sold. It's going to be the thing that earns
You're going to
more
claim
money.
it on the flex and the
This
power
doesn't
pool.
change anything for what I was doing. So but I understand.
Yeah.
And I said this in my video today. I can't speak for everybody because I know a lot of people are pissed, and they have every right to be mad because their plans are switching. This is a big difference when you think about it on the surface. 2.5% to 0.25% is a 10x down in what you have available.
It
on
really
day
is.
one.
Yeah.
Now, somebody who has a $60,000 bag, that could, that's money they could have sold, and they could have made a mortgage payment with that 2.5%. Now they can't afford. Now forget it. You can't even do anything with it.
Sure.
This is good for us who are holding, like me.
It's
Because
good for
nobody
the
can sell and
project.
take anything.
And do you feel, as Kryptonian and Chris said, do you feel that it's good for the longevity of the blockchain?
Oh, this is going to be amazing. For the first 6 months, nobody can really tank anything. Like you
Right.
can't even. We can't. I can. What's 0.25% going to do? It's
Right.
nothing.
Now, do you feel that it will affect volume? Do you think that's... do you see it
Volume's gonna
affecting
be
volume
affected
at all?
by projects we have?
Yeah, I think the
Well, that's-
projects are going to determine volume. I agree with you, Greg.
Yeah, I don't think that this is going to affect volume in any one way or
I
the
mean,
other. I'm more concerned about
I agree
the.
with you.
I'm more concerned
We're
about the.
reliant on the community for volume. Just look at
Right.
ESCO volume. Look at what's in the past. Like
Right.
the volume we're going to get out of us is 150,000, 200K max, unless you got whales playing their games. That's,
Right on.
that's basically what the volume's been. So if you have other projects, that's the only thing that brings the volume is the projects.
Makes
And
sense.
this gives more time for projects to come on board and actually play around with
That's
the blockchain. That was-
110% true. Yeah. Yeah.
Because before, I don't care what they were saying. Like, you have 15 projects. Most aren't even releasing day one. Like, if it's June 30th, on the Q2, they kept saying it. I'm like, all right, what are we going to release with 5 projects? Yeah, we're vested, but like,
yeah.
by the time the vesting picks up, that's when your projects will come on board. You really don't have enough time.
Right.
You need to
I
get
know
the-
as a project coming onto the Vulcan blockchain with Property Flex, I mean, it's the extended time has helped us a little bit to give us time to prepare and all those types of things. So
Yeah.
for us, and again, it hasn't been a bad thing.
It's
Yeah.
great too because when you're paired with Vulcan, price volatility on Vulcan affects your project just as much. So having this kind of vesting for a project coming in 0.25%.
It's a great point. That's a
you're gonna
great
be like,
point.
5 months. This blockchain can now lift up.
That
the
is a
volume.
great point, and we've seen that with
Incredible.
ESCO affecting other projects that it's been paired with. So yeah, that's a great point. Great.
It's
yeah.
going
And I've
to
been
help,
thinking,
Yeah.
especially.
isn't most of the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm looking to release a project, and that's a big deal because when you're paired with it, you need that stability, especially on a rebasing blockchain.
Sure.
You
And we're excited for your project. I know I've seen some stuff behind the scenes, and I think what you're cooking up is it's going to be exciting.
we won't have
Yeah.
any releases till Vulcan's released.
Yeah.
So.
It's
So
it's
you-
going to be
so you-
good. I've seen some tokenomics, and I've seen I've seen a lot of the
I was
project.
bored one night,
Yeah.
so I just all right, here's the white paper.
Yeah, and it's impressive. I
And
like what he's
already
done
wrote
with
a
it.
white paper up,
Yeah. It's
and
impressive.
just so people are aware, it's not going to be called Greek token. So
I will definitely be. Let's just say it's something that I will definitely put some money into.
Big beard token. That's my
110%.
vote.
Ditto, bro. You know I'm in. You know I'm all in.
Yeah. And I
Ticker,
would think you would want to Kryptonian. I love the tokenomics. I think
Tony's in the white paper,
Great.
so is Chris Cruz. They just
Yeah, I want to know what the
hell?
what the max.
Well, hold on,
is.
man. We got to change the music then. What? Say that again.
what?
What were we saying? I already said my name. I'm just joking.
No, you're in the white paper. You just don't know. You're an advisor.
Greek, what's the max buy going to be? Is it
I
gonna
don't have
be-
bad spice. We don't do that. Those games.
we don't
You
limit
just-
we don't limit the free market.
We let the free market play. If you have equal liquidity at first,
That's why I love
it
it.
doesn't matter if somebody sells.
Yep.
Equal liquidity
Beautiful,
backing,
man.
you're good.
Yeah.
I
Beautiful.
want
Yep.
it to be traded because volume breeds success. But I'm also not going to release it now till everybody's making some money and we're on Vulcan.
Good call. It's a good
I'm
call.
not gonna-
Odie, I don't think we heard your thoughts on the vesting and all that stuff, man. Where are you at with it?
So,
Oh,
well,
he disappeared.
I definitely believe that we. I know.
Oh, shit. What happened? The aliens got
Because
it.
I'm in my company
know how I
truck.
feel?
Crypto fairy, you got him.
Oh, you're in the truck. Okay.
See, you can
Yeah.
see the window if I move it just the wrong angle,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep the sun from hitting the.
He's like,
I have
Odie,
to
what do
keep
you think?
moving
He's
my
like, gotta
laptop.
go.
I was like, oh my god, the government
wait.
took him.
Shit, it's an actual
like,
question. Yeah, no. So the vesting, I do believe the original vesting was a good idea. We don't want to run out of. We don't want our blockchain to get run into the ground, and then we all lost everything. Right? We have nothing left. So I think that was a good idea. I didn't like it at first. I was resistant, and then it had to grow on me. So I get it, and it makes sense. As far as changing it to the 0.25% and stuff. Yeah, if you have like $1 million, I think that means you get to, what is it? No. Darn it. I was playing with the numbers earlier, and I can't remember what it was. You had to have a ridiculous amount to be able to take out, like $5,000 as your 0.25. So, that takes most of the wallets to a point where it's kind of not even worth it to, who cares? Go, just do your flex, do your power pool, right? Because you are going to make good money on the flex. I was playing with Shepsky's calculator this afternoon, and I looked at, the node calculator and the fixed flex, and it's still looking really good.
Yeah,
I'm still.
And you're a node holder. You have light nodes.
Yeah.
You have 2 full nodes, I believe.
Yeah, 2
right?
fulls,
You have 2
lights.
full nodes. So yeah, you're sitting pretty. So
Yeah.
I don't see it affecting you.
I have
much.
a pretty
yeah.
sizable amount in my bag.
Sure.
I'm not, I'm not rich little, but we put in a decent amount in our bag on top of that. So
No, but you'll be little rich.
Yeah, a little rich, man.
Like Little Rich.
So, yeah,
Wait a minute ago, he said, "Well, if you got $1 million, I only get to get out like $5,000." I was like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah.
I heard what you
I
said.
don't have $1 million in there, not yet, anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think I do think though, having this new vesting, even though we rebase, I think we'll see some really cool price appreciation. I think it's going to do well for the price.
And I know some were asking,
What's up,
do
Coach?
we collect the rebases from now? This question, yeah. If someone
Yes.
can, basically, whatever amount, until then, you get 0.25% of that amount on the day we go live, whatever
Right.
your amount is that you
Yeah.
rebased out to. And then from there on, you collect the rebases off the 0.25, that gets released to your wallet. So even that rebasing, it's
Yeah.
forcing you to make money. It's just,
Yeah.
if you play right. But
Did
obviously,
you just answer Gia's question? I think you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Mhm.
did. Yep.
I got
hopefully
really
that answers
nerdy today and did all my spreadsheets because now that I have a date on when
I was going to ask you if you updated your spreadsheets.
Oh, they're
First of
all
all,
updated.
you're always
I got
nerdy.
light nodes,
Yeah.
my light nodes separate. I got my full
Today.
nodes separate. I got a whole bag. Then I got just my regular sacrifice bag. So I got 4 different sheets so I could see on what day what amount I'm earning. And I'm okay with it. It's like,
By the way, on the question of volume, this is my personal thought, but there's 30-something thousand of us that hold Vulcan. I can't remember what it was anymore. There's something like that.
Greek, how many holders of Vulcan?
Yeah, I'm
something
currently right.
17,000
Okay,
plus wallets.
in the what are the words I want in the larger scheme of things in a blockchain. Isn't that just like a drop in the bucket compared to all the people that are going to be? I mean, I think most of the volume is going to come from people that discover the blockchain,
Yeah, and
that
that's what
come
we
in
want.
and invest in your projects and all the other projects. That's where I think the volume is going to come from. I don't think we're going to have appreciable volume, like something that you go, oh, wow, I'm going to write home to mama about this one. Whoa,
Yeah.
we're not going to get 1 million transactions and $1 million in volume from the folks that are currently sacrificed in. That's what I personally think. I could be wrong.
Butter.
Well, I think that I do think a
Said
little
butter.
bit differently on this, and you guys might not.
We're going to get volume, Chris. I just don't think that the
let's
majority
hear it,
of it is
Chris.
going to come
Let's
from.
hear it.
Enough of this guy. This negativity here, man.
No.
Oh God, that was speculation. You're killing me.
No. I'm not saying that he's fighting. I understand what he's saying and everything, but
It's just my.
I think
In the words of Plan B, you're being a turkey, bro. You're being a turkey.
Oh man,
is it
I have all kinds of.
Sitting riding on a
fairies
dick.
on a what did you say? A
Dark
crypto fairy on a
Yeah, Greek.
Perched
Greek,
on a dick or
Greek, you can
something.
call yourself Greek all you want, but you can call yourself a fairy blessed on a dick. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean shit. That's
Crypto
funny.
fairy blessed on a dick.
so
Plan B killed me with that one today.
with
man.
this new
All right.
vesting, this is where I look at this as a point of view as an investor, because that's all I've pretty much ever done.
Sure.
So with this new vesting, the rebasing as an investor, I mean, I like that. But outside investor, when I see this new vesting, I start getting interest because of the fact that I understand what a blockchain would take to launch and everything. So now I think with this move, it brings more legitimate mainstream investors' eyes on Vault because of the fact that I don't want to take my project, put it on a new blockchain that doesn't have some type of, you have a whole community of people that are vested for a certain period of time.
And we know
Like this.
people are chomping at the bit to pull some money out, right? So
Right.
you
So
take
you're
that
like-
vesting away, and what happens? Right.
But what ends up happening is the people can't pull their money out. All right, they're upset about it. But in turn, you have outside investors that look at this and say, "Wait, maybe we should look at this Vulcan blockchain." Because of the foundation that they have. This is not just like a fly-by-night type thing. Okay, they start looking at it. We start getting a pump of different projects that start rolling into, hey, we're going to launch on Vulcan, and more mainstream type projects. Volume starts going up. The people that are vested and they can't get money out, they turn around and they start seeing, wait, my flex is going up. Wait, and accidentally, they're making good money, better money than they would if they would have just sold when they had the chance. So it helps.
Now they're holders.
It puts eyes on. Mainstream investors see this and like it. I'm telling you this. If they came out and they said you'd be vested 100% for 5 years, I would tell you right now we could probably be doing $1 billion a day in volume. That you will have that
you might not
many.
be wrong there. Yeah.
Retail investors will jump all over a blockchain like that. So I know that you don't like what I'm saying. I know that you don't want, the vesting has bothered you and everything like that. But if you look at this from a business aspect and everything, we should have a community that is pushing back to the project to lengthen the vesting. We should want to be like 2 years into something like this.
At some point, I thought they were going to go 2 years, and I think we've had that conversation when they first announced the 6 months, and then they went to a year.
I was
thought they should've
disappointed
went
in the
to
6
2
months. I
years.
was like,
Yeah, me too.
What are you doing?
Me too.
That's
Yep.
you just like messing. But the problem that I think that you have, and I'm not like, I'm not blaming the team. At that time they make these decisions based on the information that they have at that time.
Sure.
So when they were doing that, I was like, people were upset, and I'm like, you know what? You guys can be mad at me, but I think it was a bad move. Oh yeah, I don't like the vesting either. No, you don't understand. I like the vesting. It's not long enough, and and people are losing their shit, man. They're like, my DMs are like, what the hell are you talking about that crap for?
That's about the time I threw that vesting.
Like, it's not long enough, and I'm like, don't say that in public.
Yeah. That's that time I threw that vesting video out and then went on vacation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know you.
Oh yeah, and you put me out to.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah,
was
great.
pissed.
So just so we're
I
clear,
agree.
I was only saying that I think there's going to be more movement in the way of volume coming from outside the blockchain than I think.
You're right.
That's all I was saying.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's
But
all I
my
was saying.
point on that
So
is
you weren't fudding.
yeah.
Just making sure.
Well, he's fudding about as
I
much
don't
as I'm
feed my own
fudding.
bag, bro.
He's fudding as much as I am.
Chris, you did, and Jana just said that very well explained, Mr. Cruz, and you explained that and broke it down like a true investor, not just somebody that threw some money in a project and wants to cash out.
I'm actually in
like a
Vulcan.
true long-term investor.
Right. Well,
And,
I mean, you got to
well
understand
said.
that I'm
Well
in
said.
I'm in
And thanks, Jana.
Seifu X, and Vulcan because of my friends.
Mhm. Yep.
Listen, I'm not. This would not be on my radar with my normal investment portfolio. I'm
Right
just
on.
saying that. I'm not being mean or anything like that. But with this vesting, as they make these changes and stuff like that, this would be coming up on my more normal portfolio. This is what I would
So
be.
it's becoming
keeping my-
more attractive to your more
Yes.
mainstream investors.
Yes, because I'm not going to sink a couple of $1 million into a project, into a new blockchain that literally the foundational people that sacrifice and are the behind the scenes, the team and the community itself can like walk within 6 months. I'm not going to put that kind of money into. I would not be a part of Vulcan.
Right, because people are going to be cashing out as you're putting
Right.
in. People are going to be running
Right.
with your
I like
16
what
months
Fowler's
is
saying.
Yeah.
16 months is like the minimum, man.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You guys might not like it, but a couple of years, and that perks my interest. That's like, wait a minute, we have a couple of years to establish our project on this blockchain. If we don't make it, it's pretty much our fault. It's not the blockchain's fault. If it's 6 months and the foundation community can cash out, I'm not going to even walk near this project. I'm not going to be a part of it. Give me a couple of years of Vulcan out there, and then I'll do it. with this vesting, the more that they do, the more volume I think that we're going to get. It'll naturally come.
I agree with Fowler. He says I still believe the Vulcan team will pivot on vesting based on or depending on the blockchain performance.
I will
I
say one
agree.
thing.
Yeah, I agree with
First
I agree
time
with you.
ever, I was happy they didn't put the word final in. They need to
Yes,
stop with
please.
the word
Yeah.
final. Until the blockchain's released, nothing's final. So
Yeah,
that word is the worst word they've used, and they've done it a couple of times, and it puts you in a bad spot. So at least
Yeah.
this time didn't say final tokenomics. They could even extend this vesting. It wouldn't shock me, and they'll.
Well, that's exactly like Chris was just saying, and
But
like
they could also not say final, and they could wait and see how it is.
well, they could also kind of
July.
lock it in, and then as you know, as was just said, I forgot who made the comment, but if they see things are rolling well and there's lots of volume and there's lots of money coming in, they could
Fowler?
maybe release Fowler. They could release a little bit extra or say, hey.
Well, I think what the team should do, and they know better than I do, and this may not be feasible, but this is what I would do. I would do it. You have the current vesting plan that's right now, and then investors and sacrificers that want to extend their vesting, they have the option to do that with a term that you get like 10% of your bag, or something like that, and you could extend it out to a certain period of time, and then they have two.
You get a reward. Now that's not a bad idea, Chris.
Yeah. So if you extend it for, you got the 16 months or whatever, and you can extend a year, you get 10% or 5% or whatever, and then 2 years you get, and I would like sign up for the longest term possible, and then they may have quite a few people in the community that would participate in that.
You heard that here first, team. I mean, that's not a bad.
With you,
it's almost like locking your. It's almost like locking your coins up in a vault or something like that for a specific period of time for a reward.
Oh, hell yeah! I would do it in a minute. Are you telling me that I could lock up my tokens or my coin when I could lock up my asset for 2 more years, 3 more years to get anywhere between 15 to 20%? Hell yeah! I'd do it like tomorrow. Just send me. I'll do it right now.
Right. Yeah. And knowing we're going to see some price appreciation with the current vesting period that's there now as well.
Yeah, this is a long-term play for me, as I've always said. I know there are those out there. Don't get me wrong, community. I would love to be able to pull some money out. I'm trying to buy a house here in the next few months, so I've been planning this for a bit. So yeah, I would love to have been able to like sell some of the bag there and put it down and to do some upgrades for the house, whatever. But it's okay. I'll find the money somewhere else. Nonetheless,
find some for me, bro.
Yeah. I'm about to ask you. No, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it's okay. It just kind of forces me, as Greek would say, me to kind of like to be a holder. And the way I see it is, they're not saying, hey guys, we're giving you this news. Good luck. See you later. They're saying, remember, I always go back to the conversation I had with Plan B. I feel very fortunate that I've actually been on a phone call with the guy, for a few hours, and he tells me that this is a 20-year plan. This isn't 2-year plan.
Right.
This is a 6-month, 18-month. They're looking at 20 years for this blockchain, guys. Think about that.
Especially as a node holder, right?
Especially as a node holder. Yeah. So I would believe this is the last frontier, a frontier journey for him and the rest of the team, as it is for me. I'm talking about crypto in general. So I understand his passion. I get what he's saying. I see the vision because myself and even Greek, those of us up here that are working on projects, we get it. So I can relate to that to some degree. But when you tell me, hey, I got a 10-year, 5-year, 20-year plan, and then you begin to lay it out for me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm seeing your vision.
I'm seeing your vision. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's foolproof, but at least he has a plan. And that's all I need. Nothing ever goes as planned, but they are planning for everything. This is a pivot. They're trying to make the community happy, right? As we know. But at the same time,
Jason explains things too.
It's like, right.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to make the community happy, but not at the expense of tanking the blockchain. You know what I mean? So it goes back, at the end of the day, that's what they're trying to do. We'll give you something, but at the end of the day, we have a goal, and it's to protect everybody as a whole. So that's how I see it.
Well said, man.
Yeah. And the only thing that can't be well said is the way Greek explains things. According to Gia, Greek confused the hell out of him. So
Okay.
Greek.
Again.
Okay. So
Way
he's
to go,
listening 5 times. So right now, if you have 6,000 Vulcan, okay, and it launched tomorrow, you'd get 0.25% of your 6,000 Vulcan. Now just pretend we launch 4 months from now. You're going to rebase 4 months. Let's say you get 6,500 4 months from now. I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers.
So your rebase, you're going to get 500, right?
Yeah, let's say you rebase
Okay.
500 more in the next 4 months. Now day one starts, let's say 4 months from now, September 30th. Good date, whatever. That's the date I've always had in my mind. That's the date I have on my calendar. Right now is when the launch. So you September 30th, 6,500 is your balance. That's your new balance with what you rebase to that, and you get 0.25% of that, 6,500 at that point. Whatever day we launch, that's what you're getting released to you. And then you will earn rebases off of just that 0.25% released to your wallet. The rest will go to your other bag and get released down when they come. So
to simply answer your question,
you can't really lose your initial bag for like the first 6 months, no matter what you do. You can be sell happy and sell all you want. You can literally not lose your bag. You can actually gain on your bag. You can literally not sell your bag. You're only going to gain for the first 6 months. Right. It's ridiculous.
So to simply answer that, Gia, you are only getting 25% of that 500 that rebased.
25%.
Yeah, 0.25%. Sorry. Yes.
The 25%, we'd have different story. I'd be in right now because then I'm like, why even invest that?
Indeed.
And now you have 6 months of getting the blockchain through that ramp up period where now people are going to be forced to hold, and then they're going to see it for themselves that they literally are trying to lose money because they want to sell, but they keep making money, and now they're like, well, shit, I might as well just stay in.
It's funny when you say that, Greek, because that's actually what they're doing is they're forcing people to hold, which is going to be good for them.
And I know not everybody's got the long-term vision. I get people are pissed, but when you bought it, if you're a node holder, when you bought a node, that essentially puts you into the long-term vision. So you have to be in the long-term mindset, which I am. And I've always said, like, this is a passive income. I just texted you. I don't know if you saw it, what I earn a month just in rebases. That's a pretty good amount of rebases that I don't really have to do anything.
That's that's not.
Yeah, that's why I was nerding out today. So after I made my video, I'm like, let me do my spreadsheets. And then I came up with that number, and I'm like, holy crap.
And that's just off of rebasing.
That's just off of rebase.
Now, is that from your node rebases as well?
That's my whole bag.
Okay. Whole bag and what rebases in your nodes and light nodes, all of it. Okay.
Like,
that's still, man, that's
when you
not
guys
chump
do your
brother.
numbers, you can think of this positively and what you're earning. And I know before everybody's worried about price tanking, it's really not going to tank. And I know the next question, where do you see price first week, first month? This is all, we need to get outside people. That's always been the problem with our community right now is all the projects are within, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
keep tapping the same people.
You know,
the message needs to get outside of our bubble. You know,
and that's why when
what Odie was saying,
releasing a project, the last thing I'm going to do is release it now because it's just
who's gonna see it is the same people over and over again. And that brings me to I guess Chris's point that he made earlier with the liquidity. So as we get closer to launch, as we get near September 30th, as Greek says, and let's say that's when it's going to launch, they're really going to have to spend some money on advertising. They're really going to have to spend some money on advertising. And so does that concern of liquidity and money being spent now and with the delay having to go to salaries and devs and this and that, do you think we'll be okay and have a nice sized bag to spend on advertising as we get closer to launch? Or do you think that dwindles down and maybe the advertising isn't what we'd hope it would be?
Well,
is that a concern along with
the advertising? There is no exact science. I mean, you've got sales.
I'm well aware of that.
I know same here. I spent some money on some ads,
and it's hard to measure, right? It's hard to measure.
There is no science, so there's no metric. There's case studies, but there's no. It's all. I mean, which way is the wind blowing will tell you how much money you're going to make off this ad, right? I mean, you just never know. But it's still money that needs to be spent, right? I think you got to do. I think the mindset for most business owners is, well, I got to do something, and if this is what I got to do, so my concern is, they throw money at ads. at advertising, and then there's still the cost of running the business itself, the hardware, the devs, the updates, and all. It's just the cost of doing the running the business itself. I mean, that money is the cost is never going to go away. So let's say it's 100,000. Let's just say it's $200,000 a month. Just throwing a number out there arbitrarily, to run Vulcan. Okay, salaries, hardware, secretaries, buying post-it notes, whatever it is, it's $200K a month. They have to their revenue off the taxes and the fees, all that. They need to be able to meet payroll, pay the bills, pay the taxes. Because if they're actually incorporated on, they're going to pay taxes, state, local, whatever they're at, right? There's a cost to running that business, so they're going to have to go well above the cost of business to be deemed profitable. Because if at the end of the day, if they're not making any money for themselves, I mean, why are you in business?
Right.
I mean, we can all say, oh, we're trying to change the space, blah blah, whatever. No, we're all in crypto to make money, and if you're launching a company, launching a blockchain, we want to make money. But we're not trying to rip anybody off. We're not trying to make. We're trying to come at it. At least we are. I think myself and those of us running these projects, we want to. I think facilitate an opportunity for everybody to make some money. That's fair. That's level playing, and we want to be able to cover our costs at the end of the day. As long as I can break even every month or every day, I'm okay with that. Anything on top of that is sugar on top. I'll take the sugar on top.
Bonus.
Yeah, I'll take the bonus because I can take the bonus and build off of that. I just want to cover my costs, because if it's going into my pockets and I'm not covering my costs, then we have a problem, right? But I think what I'm saying, guys, with all this rambling is, I think my assumption is, and this is all an assumption, that's what the team's trying to do. They're trying to cover the costs, because let's say we launch tomorrow, there's still a cost of running this business. So volume is pertinent for us as the holders, as well as those running the business. We all need volume, even they need it, because they got to pay the bills. I mean, what's the point of us, we're getting $1 million of volume a day or a month or whatever it is, but we're not paying the bills, and there's no blockchain. Hardware costs money, guys, and then as servers are spinning, as I can tell you as I'm sitting here, they break down. There's just so much. There's a cost to the infrastructure. Trust me, to bare metal. But anyways, I'm done rambling about it. Other than I see why this is happening as far as them throwing a bone, but it's a soggy bone. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I see the big picture, and that's why I'm not moved by it either way. Marshall says I see this as a store of value. It's exactly what Greek was saying. Mm-hmm. When it kind of forces you to hold, right? And I'm okay with that, as like the old savings account that paid decent interest. What's decent interest, Marshall? On a bank account.
Old savings account used to pay a couple percent minimally, right? Now it's like nothing. Yeah.
In the 70s, right? Now that in the 80s we had that market crash, and then whatever. But he says
I paid them for my savings account.
Exactly. Now it's like, why do you even have a savings account?
They get pissed when I transfer it. They're like, why are you moving money out of your savings? You're gonna get penalized. I'm like, what's this? My savings? They're like, we're spending your money, bro. Stop moving it. Anyways, but he says with institutional money getting into Bitcoin and possible market manipulation resulting from that, vault could explode. Yeah. So when you say explode, I'm not looking for explosions. I'm just looking for
implosions.
I'm not looking for explosions. I'm just looking for motion. I don't need tidal waves. I just need waves. I just need the pond or the lake or the ocean. I just need this. This is all I need. I don't need this because every time there's a tidal wave, somebody gets hurt.
There's
okay.
A tsunami.
The water always retraces back to the sea.
That's right.
But if
right. I don't
need just got some little ripples going on, a little bit of receding.
Give me the ripples, brother.
That was good, man. That was a good one. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
We talk about whales and we talk about
Kryptonianisms.
That's pretty good coming from a Democrat.
Guys, it's been fun tonight, but I gotta put Grandpa to bed. He's been.
Hi, Grandpa.
I knew it was coming.
Damn, the teeth are coming out.
Dude, that was uncalled for, and I should be sent to my room, dude. That is wrong. That is wrong.
If I didn't,
it's the Texas heat that's getting to him.
The only other person that ever called me a Democrat is
dead.
He's in the grave right now. 6 feet under.
is Daniel Prado. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how. I didn't realize how much that would hurt you.
That was good.
I'm just
That was good.
I'm just joking, brother. No. Fowler says I need motion in the ocean, bro. You know what I'm talking about, brother.
There you
Like,
go.
you know
Like a
exactly what I'm
waterbed, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'll take it.
I miss my waterbed from the 80s, man. I had a waveless. That thing was so damn expensive. It was
Yeah,
more
my
expensive
parents
than a
had a
car.
Waterbed?
waterbed. My parents had a
Yeah.
waterbed, and I used to sneak chicks when they would like go. I'd sneak
Here's
chicks.
a- here's a story.
I got a water
I don't wanna
pillow
have.
now.
Yeah, it's a story for off air. You know.
Yeah, I remember I snuck into my girlfriend's house. She had a waterbed. That's a funny story. I have to tell you guys that this time. But she had a waterbed, and I
Do you
mean nothing
really
happened.
have
I'm just
to?
saying that's my first my first I think experience with the waterbed. What
Yeah.
the hell's going on, man? They're really loud. You know, I mean it's like water.
Mine
And
wasn't
like I
waveless.
said, I don't need tidal waves. I just need waves.
Waveless. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You
I need
need
waveless.
And
yes.
I know, like Odie said, he feels that a lot of the volume's going to come from outside projects and stuff like that. I really believe that once we get on these top tier centralized exchanges and people start to see the vault token, they start to see the price appreciation, they start looking into it, like Chris said, and they see that vesting. I really believe not even with the advertising dollars. I think those centralized exchanges, new coin coming, you get listed on the first page of KuCoin and this one and that one, coin market cap and all that type of shit. I think that's where it becomes key. And I think that's where we get a lot of our new investors from. I really do. And I think that's where we get a lot of volume
agree
from
with that.
as well. When we
And
hit
hopefully
those
zillion of
exchanges,
them.
man. Yeah, when we hit those exchanges, because people love a new coin, whether it's a meme coin or whatever. People are
Or-
just throwing money at the shit.
Or I would say a token.
word of mouth.
Or tokens, yeah. But
So I agree with you, Marshall, that yeah, of course, steady waves are good, but people will be looking for the next thing, and this could
Yeah,
be it.
it
So
definitely could.
So I'm
The
gonna
Vulcan doesn't need to be it though.
I'm
That's
gonna
my point.
unpack that how I interpret that or how I would prefer to hear that. I mean, and I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, but my whole take on blockchains aren't exciting.
Right.
The projects
Yeah.
are exciting. So the next big thing will be the projects on Vulcan.
You mean Property Flex?
Property Flex? Yeah. Property Flex,
Yeah.
Eco Token. Anyways, but
We
whatever.
have big plans.
We got
for
big
Property
plans.
Flex.
So Marshall, to your point, be looking for the next big projects that launch off of Vulcan, and you as a holder will benefit because of the project. There's one Vulcan, but there should be thousands of projects over time.
Look at
Think about
Binance.
that,
Yeah. Look at BSC.
Yeah.
Look at all the projects that have launched on BSC.
Well,
There's thousands of them.
Vulcan needs to be looked at as an investment tool for store of value. You need it. It needs to be marketed like that. It needs to be held like that, and the investors and sacrificers all need to treat it like that. You need to treat it as an investment tool that you earn money off of, that is a store of value, that you can go off and do your fun projects. You can go off and do that stuff here, but it comes back to Vulcan. That's the way it needs to be marketed. That's the way it needs to be treated. Our community needs to take it like that. An investment tool for a store of value.
Sorry, Chris. As you were talking,
Yeah.
this thought popped into my head. Property Flex invests in the assisted living idea that at Chris Cruz will always have. I didn't write that, Chris.
You guys are brutal tonight.
Oh, this is
Every night, man.
I've been
talking like that.
It's just a regular night, Odie.
And he knows he deserves it. He knows he deserves it.
That was good, though. That was good.
poor
I like
Cruz.
it.
Jocko, didn't you just send me a message a little bit
Chris,
ago?
I would never put you in a home, bro. I promise you that.
Nah.
Hell no,
Listen, my cold dead hands.
bro. I love you, bro.
I believe you.
I got
And
quite a bit
believe
of
you.
land, and it's
Yeah.
going to take a whole lot of you to get me in a home.
Some cases.
He'll just
of
push you
bourbon
out of a
while he's
perfectly
there.
good float plane.
All I gotta do is just
a
spike
trail of bourbon and cigars right into
No.
the
All I gotta
Hey,
do-
it's a good
no,
haul.
you just have to throw strawberries at him, and he runs like a little girl.
No, that's just dirty right
That's
there.
just
man.
wrong.
That's just dirty. That you need to
It's
go.
funny.
You need to.
You called
need
him
to
Democrat,
repent.
bro.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
I had to
all right, all right.
You used the D word. I had to use the S word, bro. We
Hey,
talked
have
about
you
this.
ever
I
seen?
think that's fair enough. Touche. You know.
Even though, like, I don't have a problem. I'm independent, so I'll make fun of Republicans and Democrat. You know, I'm more libertarian than anything. So that just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being called a Republican or a Democrat, either one of those is an insult to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I'm
I'm
an
just like,
independent
whatever.
constitutionalist.
But have you seen that Rambo movie, the last one, where he's like on that farm and everything?
Yeah.
That one's pretty morbid, man.
I'm just telling you. I learned from the best.
Oh, so you're saying, so you're saying you're
built
Rambo
tunnels,
now?
bro.
Hold up, everybody. He's saying he's Rambo now.
No. I have tunnels.
Oh, you got tunnels? I
Yeah, you
believe
guys are
that.
all like,
I believe
I don't
that.
doubt that. Yeah,
I don't doubt that
one
with you,
bit.
Chris.
yeah, you guys all be like, holy shit. I mean, I've had accidents with weapons before, and I can't find.
You've also
them.
had accidents in your pants because
Oh, now you gotta go there.
I'm joking, man. Don't you dare take me off the screen, bro. I was just joking.
Oh man.
My hands are too arthritic to do it.
Please, you hold that 45 like nothing. So tell me about your accidents with weapons. Like, I mean, if you can.
Well, I've had quite a bit of accidents that they used to be accidents in a lake, but now they're accidents. I can't find them in the tunnels. So.
So you like what tunnels?
I don't have any weapons anymore. They're all lost in the tunnels.
I had one and I gotta restring it because it was a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a slingshot.
Chuck and Charlie.
yeah, there you go. Greek's got his right here with him.
Yeah, 1 and 2, right? Well, we're definitely excited about.
Oh, look at this nice comment from Jana. I noticed that you didn't bring it up. Obviously, you wouldn't want.
Because
I was getting ready to pull it up, man.
it
That's
literally
not what
just
he
popped
texted
up,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
That
He's saying
comment's been
opposite
up there
things
for an
right
hour.
now.
What are you talking?
I just saw it, bro. I literally just popped
I
up.
know
Bro.
it just came up. I'm just kidding with you. I'm sorry. I'm giving. I really apologize for the whole comments earlier.
Now this one's been up for an hour,
Yeah.
but nah, Chris is
Jocko,
great, Jana.
you know what?
Jana's been in the community for a bit, right? So she's been here, I think, since last year, man.
She's been around for a hot minute.
Since
She's
the
an OG,
beginning, I
man.
believe. Yeah.
She's an OG.
Yeah, she's a
And,
note holder as well, I believe.
yeah.
All right. So
so-
is this going to be inappropriate?
That's a compliment, Chris. If she thinks you're funny, man, and that's actually
Yeah.
Is-
knows.
is
She
this-
Did you
just
notice-
DM'd me and told me she thought you were good looking too, man. So
Oh well, I'm going to
Did
say
you notice
this,
her
though.
first comments though when she got into the comments? When Greek came on, she just started it was like she'd never left. She just started beating
Yeah.
on Greek right out.
Yeah,
like,
like, shave your beard,
Hey,
Greeky.
beard, yeah,
She's like, "Hey, Greeky Pooh Bear." I'm like,
Right.
yeah.
Oh.
Shave your beardy
Yeah.
beard.
It's been a hot minute since we've seen her, and she's like, "Hi, everybody," and then as soon as Greek comes on, she's like, "The beard."
it's like this right here.
Pick up right where he's left off.
There you go.
There you go.
Where's that music at? Oh, legend. Now it's a good one. Now it's creepy, dude.
Okay, don't sway. Great.
Where's the
Great.
peanut butter?
Great. Never sway, bro. Never sway. Okay.
You
just
did
ruined it.
not go
He said, "Good luck."
I can't even focus now.
Oh, it must be some good bourbon.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my god.
Andy, that was weird.
Jocko, you keep it up, man. I'm gonna have to time you out in my Discord. I really won't. I don't even know how to do it. I'm sorry. I've been seeing people timing people out lately on a lot of lives. It's like, damn. Senior Rojo did one the other day. I was like, I seriously never thought you could actually say something that he would time you out.
Wow.
Oh, wait. What is this supposed to mean, Marshall? I have great conversations. I let people talk. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, you let us talk a little more than Prado lets people talk.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, see how he cut you off? He's like, that's enough. You got almost more than 2 lines in there.
Prado just talks for you. You at least let me say 2 lines.
Isn't
I
that
don't
right?
know.
Isn't that right, Greek?
Yeah, right, Greek. Don't worry about it. I answer
Don't
for
you
you.
think
Right,
so?
right.
And then
He's got
you're
a
like,
picture of.
like
He's got like a
Yeah.
picture of you. Like I swear, one day I could have swore you were just like a screenshot because you didn't say the whole anything. You're just like a wallpaper. But Prado's microphone sounds like surround sound. Why does it sound like he's behind me when he's on the live with us? Like his mic is so good. He's got the best mic, man. You know, I got a Shure mic. I spent a lot of money on it.
He does have a good mic.
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
it's just his phone, I think.
Yeah.
It's the business. He's in the biz.
Yeah.
I mean,
there
this
it
guy's. You know that he knows all the best equipment.
Yeah,
to
you're
have.
right. He knows how to EQ everything. You're right about
Yeah.
that. That's right,
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
Good.
that's what he
it's a
does for a living. So
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
call.
why he
Odie.
needed to steal my selfie stick in Dubai because he had the best equipment.
Oh, really? Yeah, like he turned it
Didn't
into
that
like
go
a
over
tripod.
the side of the boat?
Sky.
What was it that you dropped over the side?
What's
No,
up, Sky?
my lapel mic went over the
It
sky.
was the lapel mic. Okay,
Really?
because you bought
lost-
those right before we went, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was not a big
What?
deal. They were
Oh, we didn't hear-
$35 lapel mics. Okay.
We didn't hear. We didn't hear. Yeah, but still, you lost equipment in Dubai.
Well, I passed out on the boat. I had the lapel mic.
Told you you had
Look,
some
the
drinks
lapel-
on that
yes,
boat.
No lapel mic, but I
Oh,
had the
that's
cord that goes
right.
into my phone end, and that was in my pocket. So who knows where the lapel mic went?
That's funny.
That's right.
It wasn't. It didn't
Yeah.
pull out when you and Prado were on the bow, doing the live.
Yeah,
wasn't- it
What
wasn't
were
there.
you and Prado doing?
They were shooting the live from the bow.
They were
So
shooting what?
oh, God. That's it. I have to fade out now. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I actually should ban myself from this. I
Like that Homer
apologize.
Simpson meme, or the GIF. You know, he just kind of facing the bush. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'm sorry.
I have to say that was that was fun being on that yacht. That was something I have never done anything close to that. It was a trip. It was a lot of fun. It was loud and it was good.
I'm glad
It
you had
looked like
fun.
you guys had a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah, we did. It was harder than hell to get the live to work right though, because we were just far enough away from land that the signal for the cell signal was just crap. So we were trying. What was it? Pride started a live, and he was on the bow a little ways ahead of Prado and Greek, and then I joined him a little bit, and then Chalk joined us and stuff. But it was just like it was just
We had TCL there, right? From the TCL.
yeah.
team.
TCL was there.
TCL
Yeah.
was
Oh,
there.
God.
It was so cool, man. Because he would go back to his hotel and he'd call us, man. We'd be on a Telegram call or something. Dude, I mean, he
Oh,
would
it's
fill
an
it.
American.
He would fill us in, man. Oh, it was. I felt like I was there, but with everybody doing the lives and everything, he'd come back with his narration, his commentary on everything. It was fun, man. I mean, even though I didn't get to go, it was. It was. I felt like I was there. You guys did.
He was a trip. I mean,
He's funny, man.
I met him, so I met him on my fourth day that I was there with Bobby, and we, met at the booth and stuff, and met Greek and everybody in person. And oh my God, dude, TCL, that dude was just on fire. It's like he only knew 1,000 miles an hour. The throttle had to be on the floor the whole time, and he was just laughing all the time. He's like,
It's called cocaine, Odie. It's called cocaine.
something. That
Oh.
guy's
he wasn't
Crap.
sweating though. Yeah, it was. He was the life of the party. Definitely, he made it fun.
He's got a great sense of humor, man.
It was
he
hotter
really
than
does.
hell in
Yeah.
that
always
for that
wore
2 days
pants.
for that expo.
Always wear
Huh?
pants. Yeah, him and Prado with the pants.
First night was funny because we all met up in the hotel restaurant, and their TCL comes. He's like all
Shorts
shy,
on a
and he's
boat.
like, and nobody knew what he looked like because at that point he'd yet to show his face.
Yeah.
anywhere. So all of a sudden
Did he have his
speaks, and I'm
ascot
like,
on?
Ah,
That's Scott. He had the big tall freaking hat from the.
and then
Took
he
off
never
his hat.
shut up the rest of the trip.
TCL.
Yeah, when we were in the back of that charter bus on our way back to the hotel that first night, he just would not stop. He was he reminds me, and this is of course a huge compliment of Robin Williams. His mind,
really?
right? His
Okay.
mind is so freaking sharp.
I could see
He's
that
so
analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's
dude.
the first thing
Yeah,
that I
'cause-
thought.
and his comedy's very witty, you know.
Yes, it's
Like,
very witty. It's not like he's just some dumb schmuck.
I
He's
learned
very
quickly. I learned
Yeah.
quickly being on a live with him for
Yeah.
for damn near a year, and then having conversations with him. We talk daily and stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta watch what I say, man, because he'll makes a joke out of everything, man.
Yep.
He's
Yeah,
super
he
witty, man.
And I've seen a lot
I
of
love him.
time
I love the guy.
on lives and stuff too, or some jokes will fly over other people's heads because he is very witty, and like people in the comments don't necessarily
very
get
smart.
it, and it's like I got that, man. Like,
I know.
yeah, he is, man. He's a witty guy and funny as hell.
Everybody.
That makes sense,
He's
yo.
like that comedian that insults everybody at the same
Oh, yeah.
time.
Oh yeah,
It's good, man. He's
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt. Well,
And
guys,
you're almost like, hey, that's kind of an honor.
right on.
'Cause-
good. Yeah.
yeah, no,
We
he's
just-
he's
We
great.
just eclipsed 2 hours. We're at like 2:08. I don't know if you guys want to start wrapping it up, or if we got anything else.
I gotta head back to
want to
base in 10
address.
minutes anyway.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. We didn't talk about fairies. I think I'll talk about fairies as we close this thing out. But first of all, I don't believe in fairies, obviously. I definitely damn sure don't believe in aliens. At least not the ones that you've been told about and moving pictures and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even believe in the moon landing, guys. There, I said it. I don't. It's all fake to me. But I think today we really wanted to talk about just talk about whatever we kind of pretty much covered everything. I mean, we talked about what's going on with Vulcan, Property Flex, Prism Chain a little bit. Just crypto in general. It was fun, guys. I really had a good time hanging out with you guys.
That's what I missed, man. It feels like we haven't been here in ages. I know you've had some stuff going on. I've been kind of busy. I've been out of it and stuff. And
Ignoring my phone calls for 5 days.
hey, man, I was up in the mountains, man. I was in the Poconos, man.
So first of all, guys, I'm just gonna say
Great
it.
place.
I'm just gonna say it. This guy is not semi-retired. Semi-retired doesn't take a vacation every other week. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now. This Joker's retired. I'm just going. No,
I
but
still do some work. I still do some work.
hell yeah, I know you, man. We talk, brother. I hear you. I hear you at the office, man. No,
Some
you're
passion and
always grinding, man. Always grinding.
Yeah.
But
I was actually working in the Poconos,
And
man.
he's
you
always
know?
packing for another trip. Every
Yeah.
Thursday I talk to him. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
packing. Like, "Yeah, for sure."
Yeah.
God, dang, I want to be Chris when I grow up, and I want to be NR tomorrow. That's how it works. So,
Be there shortly, brother. Trust me.
Absolutely.
and one of the things that I love about crypto is, again, just the space in general. I got to meet some awesome guys, man. I mean, I've never in a million years would have thought that I'd be meeting people from different. You guys are literally in different states right now of the United States of America, right? That we're all here talking about things that we love, laughing, having a great time. And we're all vested in the same project soon to be. And it's been an honor to hang out with you guys the last year. It's been a year, just over a year, guys. Chris is new to the fold, even though he looks like he started the fold, but he's been here. He's new to the fold, and I think, man, you add so much value, man. 100% wisdom.
So much
beyond
value,
you.
and he came in,
Yeah.
and he came on the scene just on fire, man. You know,
Yeah, I've got Odie, I've got Chris, I've got Greek, I've got NR. We had Crypto Terry earlier. And we got a great community of influence. We've got Fowler, we've got Prado, we've got who am I missing, guys? That's on a daily. Greek, obviously Greek's here. Greek, I mean, you haven't really been making very many videos. I know you've been on vacation as well.
with
golfing.
family.
Yeah, family and all that stuff. Every
I got
time I'm
3 straight days under my belt of videos.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but what 3 straight months of not
You should
having?
watch it sometime.
Yeah.
I do watch them. I
He
do watch.
doesn't not watch.
Evidently.
Doesn't watch.
Bro, I watch them. Trust me, I watch them. Every single one of them, man. Every single
Okay, I'm not
I
going
can
live
recite
as much because I do. It is golf season. Okay, I can't really go outside now and golf because we got the worst air quality in the history of the world right now. Like,
Oh yeah, it's bad.
How is it over there right now?
Yeah, it's like smog.
Well, I know in New York it's orange, right, because of Canada or whatever, But
yeah, we got the same thing, and it's
It reminds me of when I was in Los Angeles in the '80s, man. It's like that downtown Los Angeles in the
my
80s.
eyes start hurting if I'm outside for too long, and I can notice my breathing.
Oh, really? So it's really affecting you guys.
It's rough, man. It is.
I wanted to talk about the Canada fires, and I got some. We don't want to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about conspiracies tonight, but we kind of went on different things. But
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week. But
Fairies started the fires in Canada. Is that what we're talking about? Really?
About what? Well, what's that?
Fairies started the fires in Canada.
No,
Is that
it was the fight between the fairies and the aliens.
Oh, and the aliens. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually saw a clip.
Started the
Their
fire.
laser
No,
ray.
I don't know who started it, but I know that there was some satellite footage of it, right? Like top view footage. All the fires started exactly at the same time. That could be fake. I don't know. That was weird. And that the smoke is orange. Is that true? Is it?
It is over here when we get them because
All right,
almost.
It's
Check this out.
orange outside here in Chicago. So.
Check this out. Check this out. Weeks before, or a couple of weeks, or a couple of days before the fires actually started, I'm trying to think of there were some trains that had some. I think it was trains. Some actual chemicals were stolen or hijacked or lost, and when it burns orange. I'm just gonna throw it out there. That's lost, and now you've got orange smoke. It's okay, Odie, don't go away.
I see the
You got-
correlation. I mean, I see that.
Ed, Krypton, you got to be careful what you're saying. I think the aliens are trying to take Odie. He just disappears every once in a while. He's like fighting them off, man. Stop talking.
Look, Odie loves Star Wars, so I know he knows where I'm coming from, man.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, here in Western Washington, we've been dealing with forest fires in Canada and in Eastern Washington in ever-growing frequency over about the last decade. In the last 3 summers, we got pretty much 3 weeks of beautiful weather, like 80s, 85, and sunny. And it's like, are we in Seattle? And then the rest of the summer, the air quality was like what Greek's talking about that he's dealing with. There was ash falling out of the sky everywhere. And it was orange, and you just couldn't see the sun for like 2 months. And the air quality was so bad that you were required to heavily suggested to wear KN95 masks, and that was independent from the pandemic.
Right.
Doing that.
It's that. I mean, and you go out. So in my job, I'm in a company truck, so I get out from time to time, do stuff, talk to people and stuff. And yeah, I needed to because you just couldn't breathe. It's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah,
Seattle ain't beautiful anymore in the summertime.
No.
Man,
Was
we'll
that
definitely
supersonic
talk about
I just
that.
heard, Odie?
What's that?
Was that supersonic I just heard?
Yeah, it was, baby.
Okay.
That's
all right.
that's my 10-minute warning that I got to head back to base.
Okay.
Ah,
All right. I hear you.
Oh man,
I hear
yeah. AJ Fat, and we're here to rock.
Yeah, man. That's old school there,
Hey,
brother.
speaking of old school, man, I actually downloaded the extended version of "Send Me an Angel" from.
Oh, okay. We were talking about that last week.
it's a
Yes,
jam, dude.
dude, isn't that the best? That's like the best
Yeah,
dance
old
song.
school
I
stuff.
remember dancing to that in the clubs in the late '80s out of high school, and I was just like, "This is the jam of the century." I just love that. It's timeless.
Well, I didn't dance. I actually broke dance, break dance. So I'm just gonna tell
my
you.
Lord.
There's dancing, and then
I need
I had
video.
parachute pants, but I could not break dance in my parachute pants.
Oh man, yeah, parachute pants. Of course you did. And Greek had Versace in the '90s. What I'm saying? Right? There's other pants in the '90s of Versace. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway,
That's funny, man. That's funny you said that, Tony. And my
No.
friends and I used to throw the cardboard down on the
Hell
street
yeah.
corner and throw down. Man, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we tried.
I throw it down. Well, I didn't. I mean, I'm more of from the '90s hip hop and house and all that stuff, but it came from the '80s breakdancing. So I remember watching the movies Breaking and all that. So I would watch the movies so that I could learn to dance. In the
Beautiful to
90s.
watch.
But I loved it, man. I loved it. It was a good time. You can actually battle. I think Prado was talking about this. You can actually, hey, you got a problem with me? Well, let's throw some cardboard down. Let's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was how you
dance
did it.
battle.
You know,
Yeah.
you got a problem with somebody, it's like, hey, don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my generation, man. We didn't act crazy like you young people do nowadays.
Punks.
Really?
So that's
40-year-old punks.
That's a conversation for another time. But I was listening to something the other day, and they were saying, and they brought up the statistics that the amount of gun owners is the same from like the 1950s until now. And basically, the topic of conversation is, so what has changed? Because there weren't school shootings and shit back then.
Right.
So what has changed? And some of the things that they brought up as far as like advertisement of like Prozac and different drugs and stuff like that. And it was a really, whatever the hell I was listening to, it was some kind of podcast, and it was really good. And just some of the things that they were bringing up. So what has changed? Why are we where we're at now? And like the breaking up the family, people don't, they don't have honor and integrity and respect anymore. And just, it was just really good, man.
Mental illness. We just
It was really good. But I mean, there was mental illness then too. I mean, mental illness isn't a new thing. Just people are talking about it more now. So it's what has really changed that's causing society to act so crazy. And one of the other things that they were talking about is just people and men in particular have been taught to act on your feelings. And I think Kryptonian, you say it all the time, man. An emotional guy is dangerous, right? Because when men act that way, and when men get sad, they get angry, and that's not a good thing.
An emotional guy is lethal.
Correct.
Lethal because of the fact. Now, a dangerous person, I would say that I know, like Kryptonian people here. I'm a dangerous person. I'm a very dangerous person, but I have it under control.
So here's one of the things that they brought up too is that no one teaches stoicism anymore.
Right.
Is that's something that's just not taught. And I think that's something that you definitely have, Chris, is that you're able to control your emotions and be stoic, right. And just be a rock at that point. So yeah, man, it's
we need people like that. I think the world, I think men and women, I know that people are talking about women too. Women need to be dangerous. All of us need to be dangerous. And because if you're dangerous, then you can protect. And you can defend, and you can do those things, and you need just keep it under control. Be very dangerous, but be under control, and go out throughout your life and everything like that. I mean, that's where I was taught, my generation and stuff like that. And I think your guys, there's quite a few people that are a lot younger than me that feel the same way. I think if you spend any time, in a combat zone or anything like that, I think you feel. You learn that a lot quicker. I mean, not everybody that comes out of combat's honorable, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, man. No doubt.
All right, guys.
But yeah, I think that's a conversation we get into next time. So I'd love to hear next Wednesday, perhaps. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on some of those things. And Rich Hudman, I saw you, man. So my in-laws actually rented some kind of cabin or something up in a place called Arrow Lake. It was really nice. Pocono Mountains, beautiful. We did some kayaking, took my little one out on a canoe, out on some of the lakes, fishing and just kind of chilling and, played board games when it rained and it was just a great time. Went with my in-laws, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law. I mean, it was just a good time, just everybody getting together. And, yeah, man, sorry. Didn't know you were that close.
I have to apologize to you, NR and Richard Hudman. I had a conversation about Pocono Mountains with Richard and had one with you within a couple of days, and I didn't put two and two together. I didn't. I didn't even tell you. I mean, like I should have been like, oh, Richard Hudman.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm about I live about 3 hours away from the Poconos, so maybe at some point in time, Rich, we can definitely link up or meet halfway and do lunch or something like that, man. I'd be down for that, no doubt.
Richard won the trivia game on Terry's Live today. Won it.
Okay.
Pretty handily too.
Yeah, Rich is he's on point. He's a smart guy, no doubt.
Oh, there's Janice's comment. There you go.
Oh,
I was waiting. I was
live
waiting.
out with that one.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Why are you? I mean, is she is she dangerous? Yeah, Greek. I mean, she's asking, or she's like,
she's dangerous.
She's Greek's kryptonite.
Greek, you would know.
Is that a modeling picture or something, or what?
That's probably just a selfie, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it's something you'd see in a magazine or something.
Yeah. There's nothing I could do with a selfie to make me look good, so I just.
You could be in a magazine or
Greek. I don't know.
Something to do with a beard type thing.
Yeah, man. Standing next to Dan Bilzerian. There you go.
I think I'm going to shave. I don't know.
I saw somebody in the comments said, "Hey, Greek, shave your beard."
Yeah, that was Jana.
Oh,
that was Jana.
Yeah, that was Jana.
Yep, that was right out of the gate. Hey guys, and then shave your beard.
My goddaughter would kill me if I shaved. She'd destroy me.
I did know when I think you were away for that time, and you came back in your first video. I was like, "Holy shit! Look at that beard."
Yeah, it looks crazier because I
thicker.
shaved the neck down. I shaved the neck because my family was getting on my case about not shaving, so I shaved the neck just to please them. And then they complained even more. They're like, "No, we meant the whole thing." I'm like, "No."
Oh,
I think you should shave everything but the mustache. Leave the mustache, bro. I
maybe
want to.
do a little handlebar.
Yeah,
I
man.
would like to
Porn
see
star look.
that. I would definitely like to see that. I will admit.
Next time I shave fully, I'll keep it. And I'll take a picture of it just for you.
Yeah, freaking, that's a mustache.
You need to do like charity events to shave your beard. Get something.
I'll take
That's a good
Bitcoin.
one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Whoever donates the most Bitcoin to me gets to say what I shave my head or beard. They get to decide how and I have to keep it for at least a week.
I'd shave my beard for some type of charity, but
So I just got a what the hell kind of credit card is it? A Venmo credit card. And when you get rewards, you can actually, because when you use it, you get like reward points and stuff. You can actually get your rewards in Bitcoin
Oh, that's cool.
from the Venmo credit card, which is pretty cool. I think it's cool, man. It's Bitcoin going kind of mainstream. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you guys what you should invest in and what you shouldn't. But with all these companies falling for these ETFs,
150%, man.
It's going to be harder and harder for the retail investor to acquire Bitcoin.
Yep. And if you do, you're going to pay more for it.
Right.
110%, man. This is what I think is going to push Bitcoin up to six figures, like the experts have been saying. And
Tomorrow's Bitcoin day.
yeah, I really do. I think these ETFs,
Yep.
once it's approved, once they start throwing money into the market, that's going to be the beginning of your next bull run. That's what's going to set it off. And
Well,
even if 110%, man.
But even if Bitcoin goes up in price, you got to understand the supply will be controlled by a conglomerate of individual corporations that will want to actually charge you.
Yep.
So the independent investor being able to buy Bitcoin, it'll happen with other cryptocurrencies, but with Bitcoin, it's going to happen first, and you will have a harder time getting your hands.
You're right.
Solely your independence.
You're going to have to overpay for it.
Right. Yeah. And you may even have an issue where you have to store it on their stuff. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to get it, because you got to understand they will own Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it will be their Bitcoin that you're buying. It won't be Bitcoin's Bitcoin you're buying anymore.
So you're going to have to keep it on BlackRock's platform or Vanguard's platform.
JP Morgan's already doing it with the coin that they're creating.
JP Morgan coin. I couldn't believe that shit.
Well, I believe but I actually agree with it, because JP Morgan's coin is going to end up being it's going to be a CBDC.
Yes. Yes, it will.
For bankers.
Yep.
So, which to me, okay, JP Morgan's close to the government, but I mean, it's an entity outside of the government that will be controlling a CBD type situation for banks and corporations.
It makes sense. I mean, it definitely makes sense. Yeah.
Hell, in the early 1900s, JP Morgan had more money than the government, and the government actually borrowed money from JP Morgan. There's some good stories there. Scary, but
that is crazy.
Jana,
on that note, I have to bounce and head back to base so I can go home.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping this up anyway.
A privilege, as always.
Appreciate you
for having me.
Appreciate you as always, brother.
I want to tell
everybody, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Odie, you take care, and I love seeing you. But Jana, you're welcome. But I don't know what did I say that you guys said?
No, you stopped talking.
Probably the modeling picture. I'm assuming.
God, I gotta go.
Oh, she's happy because I stopped talking.
Yeah, you stopped talking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how.
Thank you, Chris.
Vicious. You better watch out. She's
like, thank you, Chris.
I think it was for the.
She stopped talking finally, and then now she's gonna say thank you, Kryptonian.
Yeah, because
I think it was the modeling picture comment, Chris.
That was.
I think it was the modeling.
Oh, well, that's honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you appreciate it.
I take it back what I just said.
I appreciate your appreciation.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your picture. It's a pretty picture.
There you go. There
it is. Well, we are going to wrap this up. We're at 2.5 hours, just about, guys.
Yeah, man.
Again, I appreciate everybody joining. We'll be doing this again. I hope we can be on live Monday. And all right, back to the normal schedule. Hopefully, we bring.
Yeah, let's shoot for that, brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking more about the projects, our Prism blockchain, Property Flex, Eco Token, and other things. And of course, anything else crypto and whatever you guys want to talk about. So, and Wednesdays we'll talk about more about aliens and of course conspiracies. They never let me talk about these things. They want to talk about kind of like they just kind of overrule whatever I want to talk about.
I
Anyways,
was waiting for you to talk about it. I had
Yeah.
your back the whole entire time, buddy. I was right here for you.
I appreciate
That's
it.
why I joined to talk fairies and aliens. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we got into a
liar.
little roll there on
You liar.
Vulcan, and
Yeah. Well, we did it, guys. I did. You guys did catch me up on some things.
yeah. Well, I was curious to hear all of your thoughts on the vesting, because that's fairly new.
It is new,
news
and I've been out of
and-
pocket for a bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
No,
and I think the community needs that. They need
Sure.
that interaction and stuff like that. And I think that it was like it would be fun to be talking about those other things, but this was something that the community would want to hear or want to see.
Always
So,
wise words from Mr. Cruz and Kryptonian Greek, and
thanks, sir. Yep. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
yeah,
thanks
man.
for saying
All
it.
right, any last words ever, Greek?
What?
See, what you got,
the
man? We
Greek's
appreciate
back.
it.
like,
I'm doing
subscribe,
videos.
hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing
Ding, ding,
videos
ding, ding.
again.
Hit
Even though
the-
Kryptonian doesn't watch because he thinks I haven't done one in like weeks.
I meant lives is what I meant. That's what I meant.
I got a live tomorrow night, maybe. I don't
Oh.
know. I got to depend to see if I want to do it. I don't know. Actually, I'm probably going to. Well, Oliver's joining me to talk about 3 token for a little bit of it. You guys are all welcome to join as well. We're just gonna
About 7:30ish or so.
7 o'clock
7
Central
o'clock.
Standard Time.
I might be able to join. Yep, I'm free about.
Of course,
that
my
time.
car's in the shop, so if they say it's ready, that could change my plans tomorrow. So I haven't set it yet because I don't.
Okay, understood. All right.
All right.
So basically, he had nothing to say. What about you, NR? I appreciate you, Greek.
Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I know your time is the most valuable thing that you have, and we all appreciate you spending it here with us. Thank you very much.
All righty, man. What about you, Chris?
I'm glad to be hanging out with you guys, and I count you guys as friends, and
Ditto, brother. Ditto.
I think the world needs more of what we're doing here. So
Having a good time, man.
100%,
and
man.
good time. We're being honest with each other, man. At the end of the day, we actually care about each other and the space, right, and the world around us. So that I think that's a good thing. For me, I guess I think knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And it's been a while since I've been able to talk about my principles, but nobody is coming to save you. So you must be your own hero. And that's in any and all things that you do in life. Do right and fear no man. Belief is the enemy of knowing, as I always say. Inspect what you inspect, and always, guys, do your own research. We'll see you guys on the blockchain.